I need to turn that down now.
We good? We did it. We're here.
Yep.
We're here. No, don't Omni. Don't say that on the internet. you can get yourself in a lot of trouble because people don't have context and they don't think you're joking. I know you're joking. You don't mean that. You have to be like, I'm literally kidding. I would never do that. I mean, you can say it to me in DMs or whatever, but you're out in public saying crazy shit in public, bro. Don't put it in quotes. That makes it worse, dude. What's up, Pineapple? How you doing? LFQ, handsome man. I like that you hit Omni with the roast this morning. That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, Omni, you don't put it in quotes, bro. That's not what quotes mean. Yeah, how's everyone doing this morning? You are first, by the way. Actually, Omni was first. Got you on that one, brother. Oh, Tony, I don't know if I told you this. I was playing some Noida this weekend. I got to Jungle.
Nice.
It was a good time. I want to say it was Perk Lottery that carried, but I also got a wand that made a projectile as soon as it moves downward, does like a rain of exploding purple shit, and that was very powerful. I basically used that to like clear out the whole base. I don't remember what the base is called. It's like the
hissy base.
Hissy base. That's it.
Yep.
Are we pronouncing that right, LFQ? Hissy?
Probably not, but
no, it's probably like hissy or some shit like that.
I'm really trying to kill the alchemist boss right now.
Oh, okay.
Which unlocks the Greek letter spells, one of which is like you can make any spell unlimited, including like heals and black holes and stuff. So I really want to get that, but you gotta get a run that comes together the right way, where you can go down, get powerful enough, get a good wand, and then go back up to the top, and then you kind of like dig down to get him. And I haven't got it yet, but one of these times.
Dude, Pineapple,
well, it ended like 2 minutes after you left. There's nothing to see. Don't worry about it. Please don't watch.
I mean, definitely watch it, LFQ, please. I don't know how it's pronounced as Finnish. I know, bro. I'm fucking with you. Like, Scandinavians are all the same, right? You guys speak the same language. I get it. Pineapple, so power over Ethernet is like the weirdest turn of phrase to me, or like nomenclature for like a networking device, because that makes me think the way it's worded that it carries an electrical current over Ethernet cable for the purpose of giving power to something. But I know oftentimes what it actually means is you're able to encode electrical signals through an existing like copper power utility in a building, and that makes it so that your power outlet becomes like an Ethernet port, and you can put an adapter.
That's Ethernet over power. That's the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I've heard the term used for both things, but typically implying a Ethernet over power thing is power over Ethernet. Like that's what I'm saying. I've heard it used interchangeably, which is really weird. Used the charge tablet yesterday? Yeah, of course. Pilled on eclairs too? What, bro? Yeah, congrats on winning your stuff there, Pineapple. Hopefully they actually give you $500 and it's adjusted for taxes, so you don't have to pay taxes on a prize. Because if you pay taxes on that $500 prize, you only won like $200.
Oh, prize tax is a thing, and it is 30%. So,
yeah, sorry, brother.
Yep. Well, that only applies over $600 though. So
Oh, it does?
I think that one can skirt under the table technically, just depending on the rest of your business and financial situation. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Less than $600 is no tax. Yeah, Pineapple saying the same thing. That's great. Just
Yep.
be. I don't know the actual law, so just make sure that you don't, have to.
It's an interesting thing if you watch The Price is Right and you see somebody win a car and all expenses paid vacation and a new dining room set and stuff. Even if they give them all of that stuff for free at the end of the show, they then have to turn around and write the IRS a check for 30% of the value of all of that stuff, or you can't take it. So that's what happens behind the scenes at the end of like The Price is Right and stuff. Is they go, if you want the car, you got to write the tax check right now, and then we'll give you the keys. Otherwise, you can just walk away, and that's your choice, basically.
Yep, and I think most people walk away.
Yep.
Financial
Mr. Beast talks about it. Like when he gives somebody a free car, like they have to pay taxes on it. He's like, and I will sit down with them and explain that before they walk away so that they understand, because a lot of the time it seems like they don't. And
yeah, LFQ makes a good point. That very much depends on where you are in the world. Responding to adders, financial laws don't exist anymore, obviously. But yeah, I think that's true of like everything we're saying. It very much depends on where you are in the world, even where you are within this country, because those laws are different by state. So there are some federal regulations that are, any state, but yeah, not financial advice. We don't know. We're not experts. I saw one thing, a guy wanted an expensive Mr. Beast car, but he had to sell it because of taxes and insurance. That's a different thing. That means that he accepted it and like did the check payout thing that Tony was talking about. But then, so like, here's a great example, Pineapple. If you own a Lamborghini, insuring that Lamborghini costs thousands of dollars a month, like if not tens of thousands.
Your first registration on a Lamborghini is probably 50 grand.
Yeah. So
unless you're in Montana, I guess, right?
Yeah, my first registration on my Audi, which is not a Lamborghini, it's just a German sports car. But my first like getting my license plate was, I want to say like $5,000 just to sign the clerk's fees and all that. Now, of course, that went down, over time as the vehicle
the first one
loses value. But yeah, it's a really weird thing too. It's like an arbitrary number defined by the state, varies by state, and it's like a percentage of the sale value of the car, and then over time there's depreciation that's applied to it. That's like a blanket number they do for like everything. It's really weird. Either way, the government's getting their chunk of change when you own something. Also true, California would WWE off the ropes if they got wind you didn't pay your 80% taxes. Montana and Maine registration finally getting locked down. Very sad. Ooh, that is sad. What will my 4 million Koenigsegg Jesko cost then? You've got like registration fees in like the potentially like $100K. And I don't.
I'm gonna go California vehicle registration costs. Let's just see what it says. 0.65% of vehicles purchase price. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
I don't think a new Jesko is 4 million. Yeah, I think they were like 2.1 or something like that. But because they made so few of them, if you buy one, you're getting it from like a different seller. So
yeah, you're probably looking at like 20 grand, maybe something like that, if that's the case.
2.8 million for standard production version of the Jesko. So it'd have to be based off of that. What's up, Sushi? They made Whistle and Diesel an example in quarter with the registration stuff. Yes. Well, that was a part of his business model, was trying to get around certain fees by destroying something and lessening its value so that it was easier for him to buy a very expensive thing, because then he could claim it as like a tax write-off. And, he's obviously doing some very what he probably thinks is clever use of game mechanics, I guess, for tax laws. And, you know, based on his like 2 arrests for violating financial law, he's putting himself into a risky position. So if I win the 2.5K prize, I mean, multiply that by, 0.3 and then subtract that number from 2.5K. That's about what you would get. It's always best though with that type of thing, if you don't do taxes immediately, to set aside like 35% just to make sure, and you can't touch it because you'll have to write that check to the government. Otherwise they'll be like, you owe us this, and if you don't have it, you don't have it, and you're in trouble.
Yep. You can also make estimated payments. Like this is going pretty far for like a $2,500 prize or something, but like if you're worried about it or you don't want to have to think about it later, you can make an estimated payment early to just get it out of the way, to just say like, I know I owe you guys this, I'm just going to do it now. We don't have to talk about it anymore. So
Texas is starting to require, depending on county, estimated value range documentation from a licensed estimator for used vehicle purchases. That sucks ass.
And you're going to have to pay for that too.
Yeah, he said he had to drop $500 to get his trailer evaluated before putting a title under his name.
Holy shit.
Dude, that's really annoying. Yeah, Pineapple, if you've ever heard the phrase death and taxes, what it means is that there are 2 certainties in life that are unavoidable, and it's that you're going to die eventually, because we're all dying from the moment we are born. We are not immortals. We are impermanent beings. And then taxes. Taxes will always exist. You will always have to pay somebody something because you live in a society. Yeah, exactly, Tony. $1.
No, like that. Yeah, totally. So I don't know, but yeah, with the taxes thing, like I was saying a couple of weeks ago too, like just think about the fact that the IRS has AI now. Like I don't know what it means. I think about it a lot though.
Tony, for what it's worth, I bought like one of the first cars I owned, not a good car, Toyota Tercel, for like $1. Yep. And when I was registering it, the clerk was like, nobody buys a car for $1. And I was like, do you know what this car is? And she's like, that's just not how cars work. And I was like, the value of this car is like $300. Yes, it is worth $1. It's like an essentially worthless vehicle. And I had to like get into a conversation with this lady. She's like, this is a crime. And I'm like, it's not a crime. It was literally $1. I was like, I'm a teenager. What are you talking about? It was crazy.
My dad would always just be like, it was a gift, but we had to put something down. So what do you want me to do? And they're just like, yeah, whatever. Because they do get kind of mad about it. And you're just like, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not your authority to say. So
yep. That's the other crazy thing. Like people, I'm sure you guys have seen this a lot, especially on the internet. People like to get into arguments in the middle of a situation that's happening, and that is not the time to get into an argument about anything with anybody. You go to court. That is the time to argue. At least in this country, that's how it works. So if you're getting heated and you want to crash out on somebody, that's not going to solve the problem. You need to get a lawyer and, deal with it through the court system. That's the best way. Adder says it was extremely annoying because it's also a 44-foot trailer that I had to drive unregistered to a sheriff's office where I met up with the evaluator and a sheriff to sign off on the paperwork. We owned an 89 Nissan 240SX for a minute, and what's the PO? I'm missing this here. I'm sleepy this morning. Had put down 3 iPhones and couch trade in the registered value. They were cool with that? Dude, that's crazy.
All right.
Whenever I need a laugh, I think about that situation. Previous owner. Thank you. What's up, Brightside? Boys and boys. I like it. Boys with 2 S's and boys with 1 S. Wait, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I wanna know, Brightside. Is there like an implicit meaning behind boys with 2 S's? I saw this one video where this cop pulled over a woman for using a phone in her right hand while driving, and she took it to court and presented that her arm was amputated. That video made the rounds because the cop was insisting that like Yeah, there you go, Pineapple. That's what I was getting at. I was just I wanted him to answer it on his own. But yeah, no, I saw that video making the rounds. It was crazy. She's like, where did you see me holding this phone? And like, so that's the thing though. She was recording it. It was on the body camera. She needed to argue less, but obviously that's more, it's better content with more arguing, because you just don't argue. You go, look, dude, I don't have a fucking hand. This guy's claiming. And Pineapple, the way that all worked is that the DA chose not to prosecute. So she made it a bigger issue than it actually was, but they dismissed her case before she even went to court. And then she decided to go to court and continued like with the social media stuff to try to get more clout, which is dumb. But yeah, that's the reality of that. So she played it up a lot more, but she was never actually going to face a fine or anything like that. I agree with you, Brightside. Draw it out. Fuck those cops. I mean, she didn't even have to draw it out. Like the prosecutor's office was like, this case is dismissed because the officer has no evidence that the accused was actually like holding a phone. And then, she talked to the judge and she's like, I got no fucking hand, bro. And the judge is like, yeah, we dismissed your case. We weren't going to be able to even bother you. So like, you could argue that she could sue for like duress and like inconvenience and all kinds of other stuff. But in order to make a compelling case that way, to like sue for damages, you have to provide proof that there was material damage caused. So like, that's a harder thing. And that is expensive, because then you have to like weigh the the cost against the reality of it. So if you're like, well, if I could document that I own my own business and the inconvenience of like getting pulled over and doing this has cost me this amount of money, because my company, due to our financials for the last 3 to 5 years, shows that we make this much money in this period of time. I was unable to be there because I had to go to court. I had to do this. This is the cost for gas. This is the cost. And then you add up that whole amount and you go, we can sue for this much. And then you're like, well, my legal fees are this much. And if that legal fees are higher than suing, you just don't go to court for it. You just let it drop, which is, it sucks.
Subtle.
Yeah, it sucks, but that's the reality. Like you need to make a huge fucking case, and you like, that's how it works, guys. It's just an argument. You're like, my argument's better than yours, and I have proof to support my argument. And then the other person goes, my argument's better than yours. I have proof to support my argument. It's really silly that that's how the court system works, but like, we're all human beings, It's not like there's some law of physics that is governing like law and like, legislation. It's not. It's just people. And that kind of like, when you realize that kind of crashes you out a little bit. So Pineapple, sorry, I feel like I'm telling you that Santa doesn't exist. They need to reach a quota or get fired. It's typically not that they get fired. It's more, okay, so I don't think it's any secret that municipalities make money off of fines from like traffic infractions. That's normal. I think the issue here is when that becomes a primary source of income for the municipality. And so this is why like automated ticket writing systems and speed trap cameras are bullshit, because what they're doing is just going on a like min-maxing strategy for making sure that they have enough that people just say whatever, fuck this, and pay the fine. And then there's an amount of money that goes to fund the city because of that, which is fucked up. Anyone else who like fights it in court, you're spending a ton of time and money just to go dispute a fine that can be like $100. Oh, thank you for the resub, Pumpkin. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sparkle.
Thank you, Sparkle.
ACAB sort of day on twitch.television. Absolutely, Tony.
Always is, right?
I want to read some of Brightside's crash outs. We got him in here. The Lego situation is crazy too, bro. I'm not tracking the Lego situation, but I know that that's a thing. I've seen it popping up in my my algorithm feeds and stuff for like, check this shit out, So I'll have to. Brightside, can you give me like a quick synopsis on the Lego situation?
My understanding, and he might have more details, is like a Bricks and Minifig store stole a huge collection of shit from a guy, or like won't give it back or something. And
oh shit,
basically like through this YouTuber trying to help the guy get it back, he's like figured out that like the local sheriff's department is like basically like corrupt and trying to prevent him from doing so or something. Yeah, Brightside can probably explain it better, but yeah, it's apparently it's some pretty crazy shit. I haven't watched the videos yet.
Burnt Pineapple says you'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. No worries, man. You don't say, says LFQ. LFQ, I like that you're aware of ACAB as like a European.
Yeah, right. That's pretty funny
American. Bro, we are fucking, our culture, like being pushed to every inch of the globe is the craziest shit about the United States, I think. Who cares? Waste their time so they can't lie while picking up someone else. How often they lie like that? Oh, Brightside's going in. Literally, they just got in trouble for making up DUIs. How often they're ruining people's lives and financials based off of lies. I mean, I've got some personal stories around that that kind of shit too, but I don't really want to share them on the internet, you know. I guess y'all aren't keeping up with the Lego drama. I'm not. I've just seen it popping up, and I haven't like clicked on anything to try to see what's going on. More police corruption, yeah. Pineapple said he was going to be gone, but he threw another message out there. Oh yeah, I also saw a video Patreon made where Bricks and Minifigs tried suing Patreon for keeping the guy's Patreon account on. And he kept it on and said, screw Bricks and Minifigs. I mean, like, the whole Lego secondary market is fucking crazy. I only dipped a toe in there because I was playing a tabletop strategy game called Mobile Frame Zero. It's kind of like Robotech, or, you know, Robotech's the wrong one. Mech Warrior, Battletech, something like that. I can't remember which one's tabletop and which one's video games. I think Mech Warrior is video games and Battletech is the tabletop.
Quick side note, did you see that there's a Mech Warrior, whatever the most recent one, like new expansion pack coming out that is based off of like a Battletech TV show from the 90s? I saw a bunch of nerds being excited about, and I was like, I bet Vince is going to be into that.
Oh, yeah, dude. We're talking Mech Warrior, right? Mech Warrior Online?
Yeah, Mech Warrior 6 or 5 or something. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. So yeah, I dipped my toes into the Lego market because to make these really cool looking like little models to play the game, there were like certain bricks that were very valuable because like you could use them in many ways to make a cool looking robot. And so I started to like take a look at the Lego secondary market. Dude, it's fucking crazy. A single 1x1 brick. It's called a Travis brick. It has a male pip on the top, the left, the right, and the front, with a female pip on the back and the bottom. And like that brick is like $6. Just one fucking brick. And so people were like min-maxing ways to be like, oh, this one kit that they sell online from the Lego store has 16 Travis bricks in it. This is a better value than going for like the pick a brick. It's pick a brick is Lego's thing. It's the other thing for going to the other market. They would also place like, they would post all these threads to be like, Lego store at this location just got stock of Travis bricks. Go into pick a brick and buy as many as you can. And people were buying like fucking buckets of Travis bricks because they were reselling in the secondary market. It's fucking crazy. And the whole minifig situation is even crazier because there are rare ones, and the rare ones are just product releases that didn't sell, but people want to go collect these things. And like, I don't understand why. I don't get it. I like Lego. I don't understand the whole like collect stuff mentality, you know, like people that get a collection of Funko Pops, that type of shit. I just don't get. It's totally fine if you guys want to do it, live your life, you know, live your truth. I don't get it. And I think it's weird. So it's just me. It doesn't mean you're weird and you should change. I'm just saying I don't understand. So to me, it is a strange feeling to try to relate to that because I can't. What's up, Graham? How you doing? Burnout? Burnout is talking about the Lego video? All right, there we go. I watched the first one and then read a 6,000 word legal summary. I mean, that sounds like some burnout behavior there. How you doing, bro? How are the cats? You got a little homie studying up on the holy word? Let's see. Patreon CEO literally said they can suck it. Nice, Brightside. Yes. 3 1-hour videos about the whole thing. There's so much to unpack.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
I saw people saying it's the new like H-Bomber guy video. because it's 3 hours long and everybody's watching it.
So this is funny. I don't know if you guys recall, there was a documentary about twin galaxies and setting the record for different video games. The documentary was really interesting. It was called "The King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters," and it centers around Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe and Walter something or other, who was the like head referee for Twin Galaxies. Suffice it to say, there was this scandal. There was like a working class dad who just really liked Donkey Kong, and he bought himself a cabinet and like practiced getting world records for like Donkey Kong and trying to submit this because he was just like, that was his hobby. That was the one thing he got to himself. And then this guy, Billy Mitchell, who built an entire brand around being like the hot sauce and dry cleaning king of like rural Ohio or some shit. This dude was like, I hold the records. And there was like, yeah, you guys should check it out. It was a good documentary. I have met Steve Wiebe and Walter, whatever his name is, in real life. They were at Denver Comic-Con, which is now called Fan Expo. And it was funny. I was like, dude, I love you guys. The documentary was sick. I was like, Steve, you're a big inspiration. He's like, oh, thanks, man. And I was like, can we take a picture, guys? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And then, you know how people normally say cheese? I go, yo, for real, fuck Billy Mitchell. And they both laughed and they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, boys, let's go. So it was fun. It was like a Netflix documentary. Hell yeah. MechWarrior 5 was great, but 6 was absolutely terrible. Both UE though. MechWarrior 5 editor was basically a heavily modified version of the editor as well that marks change blueprints as modified and auto packs them to plug in. That's very cool, Graham. Obligatory Danish duty to remind everyone here that Lego is a Danish invention. Absolutely, LFQ, and it is a fantastic invention. And I think, you know, you can say all kinds of things about the Danes, but I think the greatest contribution to human civilization is the Lego. I should say Lego because I know it's not the Lego, but yeah. That's pretty cool. I'd always wondered how teams were implementing mod support on backend for UE. Yeah, that's actually like very interesting information. If you got some time, watch the first one from Reckless Ben. It's really good. Okay. I want to reverse engineer it at some point, but in the same way that Perforce marks the file as changed, their editor marks as modified. You click a button and bam, straight into the plugin as a mod that just works. That's pretty cool. What are you doing at her? I don't follow the reference. But I don't want to be out of pocket here saying something weird. Slick as fuck. Sounds like they're converting BPs to quick and dirty C++. I'm pretty sure it's just packing UE blueprints in the mod, and then they have something that checks the mods for overwritten files. Nice. Oh yeah, check out Sushi Sidewalk. Sushi, we talked about it a little bit. I should probably talk to you about it a little bit later. That stippled plate that is there on the bottom of the trapezoidal incline thing. I think you did too good of a job in that the rest of our materials aren't as fancy looking, so it stands out a little bit, but our lighting is dark enough that it might be okay. So anyway, that's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. That's very cool. It's good stuff.
Yeah, guys, I sent him this picture right here. And he went in Material Designer and just like procedurally created this that is very similar to the photo. Like that's not like a photo texture. He made that out of a bunch of nodes and shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, I think you're too good at stuff, Sushi. You made it like, because we almost have a style because this is an asset flip, right? So like the style is like mid quality, 3D art, and yours is higher quality than the rest of our things. So yeah, it pops out a little bit. It's very visually
shit, this is like a real fucking asset right here.
Yeah, it's too good. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I was gonna say it's like loud or noisy, but those are the wrong terms because it's not loud or noisy. I think it's totally fine. It's just, it looks too good. It looks too real. dial back the contrast and loosen some of the details, bro. Whatever you want to do is totally awesome. But thank you.
I think it probably like would not be the end of the world if it didn't get changed either.
Yeah, so. Our lighting is probably dark enough that it won't be, you know, noticeable to players. They'll, if anything, someone is like walking around looking at every square inch of the game and they're like, "Oh shit, why is this one so nice?" And we'll be like, "Well, that's because Sushi Fu the goat has done it." Welcome back, Pineapple. God damn it, Sushi. He fell on his sword to bring attention to these corrupt morons. Mormons? Oh, shit. I didn't mean to conflate that. LDS people, you're fine. I've had many LDS friends. You guys are cool. Burnout says, YouTuber Loki did some stupid stuff that made the situation worse. They're now fighting off a civil RICO case. Oh, that sucks. Dude, Burnout, I kept all my Legos, bro. Lego is a kid's toy and should be priced like adult commodities. I agree with you, Push Button. I think the same thing is kind of weird with, or I guess not kind of weird. I think it's disappointing with Pokemon cards because Pokemon cards are for kids. Dude. And the whole Pokemon card secondary market is fucking insane. It really bothers me.
Pokemon card YouTube shorts.
Like unboxing or like.
I'd get a lot of like pack openings or like people at conventions like finding crazy deals and stuff. And like I don't even do Pokemon cards, but it's just like it has ended up in my algorithm and yeah, blows my fucking mind, dude.
Kids that never grew up. I mean, Pineapple, I'm a kid that never grew up, so I wouldn't say it in that way. I think what's disappointing is that there are adults getting into a space where kids are, which is obviously problematic in many different ways, but just specifically that like kids don't fucking understand money. They don't understand society. They just want some cool Pokemon cards because they're kids and it's fun to them and they like it. And to have adults going in there leveraging like parents against kids is like, what are we fucking doing? Like, just let kids be kids. Stay out of their business, you know? We don't need to like capitalism min-max on fucking everything. Like, I think that's what is so disappointing to me. Like, let kids have toys. It's fine. We don't need to make toys like super expensive because they're rare collector commodities. That's what bothers me. Yeah, you need to tune up the graphics on level 3. That's what you got to do, Sushi. When y'all gonna add Sabrina Carpenter and a Duramax like Fortnite? I mean, like we could, but we don't have licensing for either of those things, bro. We're not Epic. We don't have billions of dollars to just throw out some nonsense. Yeah, we don't need him to shitify it. We need it to be more stylized. So like what that means is, you know, ultra realism is also a style, but like having this be a little more sorry, I'm distracted. I keep trying to not comment on what Tony's doing, but it's making me very excited. I fucking love it, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah, don't worry about
it. What's that, Tony?
I said, yeah, don't worry about
it. Yeah. Guys, this is going to be some fucking dope shit that he's doing. It's very cool. I'm really excited. It's some stuff we talked about for Dread over the last couple days. So yeah, it's going to be sick. I've returned and Burnt Peanut. I think Peanut. Okay, so I've come all the way around. I understand Burnt Peanut now. He's a little too loud, screams a little too much for me because I'm an old man. But he's actually pretty fucking funny. Like I've seen Peanut do and say some things that made me fully understand why people like him. And what is most interesting to me is that he was able to gain the support of like all the content creators. Like everybody likes Peanut. And I know that some percentage of that are people trying to capitalize on his relevance and follow in his wake to maintain their own or gain some notoriety for their own brands. But I think that there are genuinely groups of people who just like the dude and like want to hang out with him because he's silly. And he's, instead of making video games about being, you know, the best ever and being sort of negative and competitive and talking shit, he's just there to goof around and have fun. He turns any game into a friend slap game, which I think is funny.
I was gonna say, I think that's why people like him because he's just like,
yeah,
he's never like gaming or anything. Like,
he's just having fun.
He's funny and he seems pretty friendly. And yeah, I don't know. I do think his like time in the spotlight seems to have kind of come to an end, but
yeah,
it was good while it lasted.
That's how it all goes, though.
Yep.
Like the average career for a streamer for the limelight is like a year.
Yep.
And that's for the top like 1% or less than 1%. And then they fall off really fast. So if you consider, let's just back up here and look at everyone's favorite indie dev to hate, which is Pirate Software. His relevance was like 6 months or less. Like he really didn't last long. But through that time, like the fall off for his community has been somewhat steep, but he built such a large community that it's not really impacting him all that much. He's still making a ton of fucking money off of his live streaming stuff. So, hate him or hate him, because I don't think anyone actually likes this dude at this point. He's still got an established audience, and that's probably never going to fully erode. As long as he made good decisions, he'll be fine. I think doing his whole ferret rescue thing with excess profits is probably a little bit crazy, because that implies that his money is only going to ever go up. Like you can't be doing shit like that. Like he could lose his entire fucking bag off of that weird ferret rescue thing that he's doing. Not to say that like it's ignoble to protect animals. I think that's great. Animals are awesome, and we should definitely, as human beings, like do what we can to make sure animals have a good natural existence. But like, I don't know, dude. You're a faithful Sheriff fan. Yeah, ferret rescue, dude. You don't know about this? That's what like Pirate Software spun up as like a secondary business. It's like the first thing he did was like a ferret rescue. And he's got a whole channel that's just like a webcam on some ferrets in a box. And that's a whole other thing. Yeah, LFQ, I haven't heard of this guy. That's funny. I don't believe you. But yeah, Pirate Software. Big time mushroom guy? Was he really? I didn't know that. You're talking about like the psychotropic type mushrooms, or are you talking about like supplements like lion's mane and ashwagandha and shit? I only know the ashwagandha stuff because of Brightside, because he says it all the time. It fucking makes me laugh every time.
Ashwagandha's a thing.
I know, but it was really funny because like he's like, get your supplements and your lion's mane and your ashwagandha.
I mean, he's kind of spitting with that, if you ask me.
Yeah, dude. Get your peptide stacks.
Okay, I don't know about that one necessarily, but
why is that Chud doing a ferret rescue, bro? He's been doing it forever. I like that you called him a Chud burnout. That's the hardest insult you could throw at him, is calling him a Chud, because he's like an anti-Chud, He did several streams where he was literally foraging mushrooms in a forest and talking about supplement woo-woo shit. Dude, okay, Adder, I don't know if you were tracking this, but at the beginning of the foraging season, I saw it in multiple news outlets. They were like, hey guys, fucking death cap, and there's another mushroom that is super fucking lethal. Both look like button, or it's not button. They look like edible mushrooms, both of these, but the blooms are different. So you have to be like past foraging season when they're like fully mature. The fruiting bodies are like ready to spore out and all that, to really tell which one it is. So there was something like 32 fucking hospitalizations and deaths because of foragers not knowing the difference and like touching a deadly mushroom. That's one of the things that I don't know if you guys are aware of. Mushrooms are super fucking scary because it's very, very difficult to tell the difference between a mushroom that will kill you by touching it or like hospitalize you, cause some severe, if not lifelong problems, and one that you can just like saute in a pan and eat with no consequences. So just be careful foraging. You got to be an expert. It's not a good idea. It was right in the middle of his spiral. Interesting. Bro, you don't drink 3 ashwagandha lion's mane smoothies after tanning your butthole every morning? No, I get that like Conestoga spring sparkling water and pour it into my sink with the stopper on, and rinse my face with a bag of ice.
Of Saratoga ice water, of course.
Saratoga, that's it. Conestoga's the cheaper shit. My bad. That's a real good Brightside impression. Oh, thank you. Oh, I was gonna allow that, Adder. You're good. Oh, we already did. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I did it. I did.
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
Dude, Burnout's a wild boy. You don't know what he gets up to, Adder. What is N8N, burnt pineapple?
It's kind of like a platform in the cloud to like orchestrate AIs and like build AI shit. And
Interesting.
I don't know. Like I said, my only experience with it is that one of my clients DDoSed the absolute hell out of their own API with it because they were trying to fuck around and like build a report without talking to me. And
I remember that story. Yeah. That was a good time. I think he was like a business partner or something with some mushroom supplement company who was plugging them pretty hard during the whole first generation Blizzard ordeal. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm second generation Blizzard employee. Bro, shut the fuck up. Oh yeah. Did you guys know that he used to work at Blizzard? Yeah, he made WoW by himself. Good thing about Washington State is that none of the mushrooms here are dangerous enough to send you to the hospital unless you eat a shit ton of them. Well, Sushi, that's the thing I was saying is one of those reports came from Washington because I know mushroom foraging is like super popular. There was an uncommon bloom of Death Cap's the only one I know. There's another one. It looks very similar to Death Cap. It's like Widow's Bane or some shit like that. They have these like horrible fucking names that's like, do not fucking go near this mushroom. It will kill you. You see a mushroom, you can taste it without worry. Haha. Yeah, that's not true at all, Sushi. That's terrible advice. Do it for the gram? Yeah, dude. Dude, Automod just is... It's not very smart, turning cog. It needs context. It's heavy-handed. Workflow automation, I'm running locally on my own machine. Nice. Yeah, and sorry, Tony just got into that. I don't think the kids have said that for like 5 years. Yeah, actually, I'm with you on that, LFQ. Do it for the gram, I think, is like a young millennial, elder Gen Z turn of phrase. You got to be like 30 to be saying that now. So no offense, Adder, but you're becoming an old man just like me. You guys might hate me, but automated Reddit stories for YouTube Shorts already have 1K views. Wait, what do you mean, Pineapple? Did you make... Oh, you're saying your N8N thing is automating Reddit stories for your YouTube Shorts? No, dude, that's totally fine. I don't give a shit about that.
Are you putting it over Minecraft parkour videos?
And also, Pineapple, like, while that's not necessarily good content to throw out into the world, bro, you're playing a game that you know because it's like targeting your demo. I think it's fine, dude. It is what it is. As much as I like decry the system and say social media is bad, like you're doing it to benefit your own business. So that's very, very different from doing it only for clout. If you're doing it only for clout, follows, likes, whatever, and you have nothing to sell, no product that you're making, no service you're offering, that is a huge fucking waste of time. So it's like a weird fuzzy area, but I see that as a massive fucking waste of time. But the way you're doing it, you're trying to drive, something else. You're promoting something, which is, I think that's fine. That's the right way to use social media. But when people are like, I'm building a brand and it's like just a fucking guy that does like a skincare routine and they make TikToks about it. Holy shit, we don't need that, man. Looks over glasses. Exactly, Adder. There's some crazy mushrooms in the oaks on my property since all the oaks insides were burnt out by the fire, so they're hollow and filled with shrooms. Burnout, don't touch those, man. I do not know enough about mushrooms, so I don't want to advise anyone to interact with wild mushrooms. It's so fucking dangerous. Like, you might think, oh, as long as I don't eat it, I'm safe, but that's not true. There are absolutely mushrooms that can like put you in the hospital because you touched it. Are you working primary color, man? No. So Marengo, this is a custom shader that he's building with a visualization for how the shader renders. So the colors are like helping Tony understand the math and how things will work out, but that's not the desired final result. So he's building some shader stuff, which is cool, that we need for Dread, for some spooky moments in Dread. I did actually in ASMR. Okay, so Pineapple, I have to clarify. If your ASMR is just you making noises and whispering, that's not ASMR. ASMR is like a different thing. It's also kind of like hokey pseudoscience shit that may or may not be real. Are you the brain rot we need? I mean, I hope so. you can eat anything once, Turning Cog says. I don't think that's true, bro. Sometimes you only eat something once and then it's over. You don't get a second chance to eat it again. I'll send the channel. You can see what I've done. I'm trying to find a human voice I've seen, but I can't find it. You mean like an AI human voice? What do you mean, Pineapple? Burnout says my latest annoyance with promotion is Instagram making your videos shitty with their compression since you don't have tens of thousands of followers. So the first week or so, he's saying, so for the first week or so, the vids you upload are hella compressed and pixelated. Interesting, dude. Yeah, is that a real thing, or is that because you're on Starlink? Marengo says, noobs, I took mushrooms last night. I mean, taking and eating mushrooms are kind of different activities. I sent the channel in Discord. Not proud of the first two, but the rest are fine. No worries, Pineapple. Brand building grind set Instagram to min-max viewer count so you can sell psychedelic mushroom powdered coffee for your maxing your microdoses. Bro, adder. That is a crazy sentence. And like I just think like 10 years ago it would have made no sense. Primary Color Man is a backroom entity. I mean, we are inspired by the backrooms. I don't know about this like deep lore of Primary Color Man or anything like that. Also, if you upload higher quality audio files to Instagram, it will fuck it up a lot. Oh, because of like the data compression for your video? That would be my assumption. It's not mine, it's just satisfying videos I found on YouTube. Holy crap, LMAO. Yeah, TTS voice. Just respawn, noob? I don't think you can respawn in real life. No, I got fiber. I'm free of Elon finally. Okay. All right, Burnout.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge win for you, bro. I know you've been fighting that fight for like 5 years. Human TTS voice is kind of hard to find without spending $100 a month. Yeah, that's actually
you gotta do like Pineapple. 11 labs or something.
If Tony makes an SCP that gets accepted by the community, we won the game. I mean,
Vince would write the SCP. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, that's not typically the thing Tony does.
I don't have any interest in writing an SCP, to be honest with you. So
you could go to New Dimensions for mushrooms, and I tried 11 labs with a free tier account, but I can't even get. I think you can't even call the API without paying. Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to do YouTube videos, I mean, you gotta use some good shit. So yeah, but otherwise, like I know you got like a big farm of compute, so like some of the local models are supposed to be getting pretty good. I don't know. What is blue penis envy? Is that a strain of weed? I haven't tried that one.
I think he's talking about mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to go for like a weird Latin portmanteau of like what someone who explores the nature of reality is. I guess it would be like a realonaut, something like that.
Psychonaut? I don't know.
That would be exploring the mind.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Because realis is Latin for reality. Maybe it's realis. I don't know my Latin pronunciations. Sorry, guys. I'm slipping here. My Latin is bad.
Pineapple, I don't know if there's a ton you can do with them just because I don't have GPUs, but like I don't know, it's a lot of memory. You could like, I don't know, is Greg here? Greg probably have better ideas than me for something like that, because I don't know.
You got the ability to do some DevOps stuff and create a more robust environment, but you're gonna have to get stuff that allows you to use, multiple CPUs, and like, you're gonna have to set up a complex RAID, and like you could create a NAT out of it, or a NAS, sorry, and then you could do like distributed rendering stuff, so you could use those extra PCs sort of as like a build farm. But if they don't have GPUs, like it's not even gonna really be worth it. So there's like a bunch of stuff you can do. Yeah,
you could make like a Blender render farm that does CPU render, which takes much longer than GPU render, but you have enough of them that you could swarm that, like, I don't know, on paper, like it might literally not even do as good as one GPU, but it could be worth trying, like stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, Brightside, you were talking about weapons last week. I mean, did I get off on like guns or something? Like start talking about that? Or are we talking about like
talking about the movie Weapons?
Yeah, were we talking about the movie? The movie totally off topic. I don't know if that was last week, bro. I think I was talking about weapons. The movie was low-key whack. All right. Burnout, not a cinema enjoyer. I don't like horror movies, and Weapons was fucking great. It was very well done. I liked it a lot. Brightside just says the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, that's kind of real. I saw Obsession and Weapons over the last 2 weeks. Fuck yeah, dude. I want to see Obsession.
Anybody go see Backrooms?
Yeah, has anyone seen Backrooms? I kind of feel like Weapons is a little overhyped. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I saw Weapons after, some people. I normally avoid any online conversations about anything. And so when my peer group and people who have opinions that I respect, especially about like art and creativity and stuff like that, when those people, which includes, some of you guys, start telling me that like Weapons is worth a watch, and they're like, I don't want to say anything about it, I'm like, okay. And then I went and found a way to watch it, and I was like, all right, this is good. I liked it. Chat RTX, I can run it on a 3060. Well, Marengo, the problem is that he's got 10 PCs with no GPUs. So he's not running any 3060 type shit. It's just pure CPU stuff. So yeah, he's a little limited in like fun things he can do.
And it's like DDR3 era, so like 6th gen Intel and down or something like that.
Yeah, and Pineapple, what I was suggesting with a NAS is not like a USB device or like a thing that is sitting on its own with an Ethernet cable. I'm saying that you could create like a NAS RAID out of those different machines, because you can probably put more hard drives in each of the in the PC chassis, and then like RAID them in a certain way that you have like a much more robust, if not more complicated, because it absolutely will be, but you could have like a distributed NAS that could be maybe faster. There's a lot of things you could do, and it depends on your architecture and solution setup that you want to do, but like there's a bunch of stuff you could do. But you're also like really limited. Yeah, it's kind of tough. These aren't servers, right? These are just like desktop PCs. I was making eggs and rethinking. Oh, rethinking. I got you. Sorry, dude. About the movie I watched last night. What did you watch Weapons last night, or did you watch Obsession last night? Yeah, it was a good movie, but I don't think it was as good as a lot of people said. Yeah, I don't think it was life-changing, Burnout. I think it was just a well-made piece of art. I think that's kind of my take on Weapons.
Weapons is the haircutting thing. Backrooms, but
what's that?
I think he might be talking about Backrooms, but
I don't think he's seen Backrooms. Because he was saying, like, we started talking about Weapons, and Burnout was like, the movie was whack. And then he's like, yeah, it was a good movie, but I don't think it was as good as a lot of people. Yeah. Anyone seen Backrooms, guys? We got to talk about Backrooms, because we saw it on opening day, and it was fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I would say same caliber of film as Weapons, personally, just in like craftsmanship and like making a piece of art. But it's like a different fucking thing entirely. Yeah, in Brightside, I want to see Obsession. The funny thing to me, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but both Backrooms and Obsession completely fucking bodied Mandalorian and Grogu. Like the profit margins on both of those films are like 12x plus, whereas like Mandalorian and Grogu might have just barely come over to be profitable. I want to say their production cost was like 140 million or something like that, and they might have hit like 230 million. So they made money, but not nearly as much money as like Backrooms and Obsession. Let's see. Obsession was amazing. Okay. Is it only in theaters, Brightside? I think it's only in theaters. Yeah, good. Shout out to the indies. Absolutely, dude. I mean, like, I love to see that art is fucking winning against big corporation, huge focus group testing, big data analytics. The like art refuses to die. I think that's the thing that I'm saying. And that's cool as fuck. Like that just it gives me hope, guys. I watched a movie called Relay a few weeks ago. Knew nothing about it. I still think about it. It's a good movie. I would have seen a lot less. It would have been a lot less good if I knew anything about it going into it. So all I'll say is it's worth a watch. Okay. Yeah, push button. I'm the type of person who, if I'm interested in watching a movie or playing a video game, I go out of my way to make sure I never hear anything about it before I play it or watch it. Like that's far more important to me. I love going into a new experience just like with no expectations. It's the best thing ever. You do anything else like set up a static IP for your server? If not, bro, don't keep that shit public. Yeah, Burnout. Pineapple seems to be relatively tech savvy. I think that he's got a really broad skill set, and it seems like his parents are at least like very knowledgeable and helping guide him to not make crazy mistakes. So I think he is still being safe, Burnout. At least I have some trust that he's got some, good advice. Also, Running Man, did you see that? I caught that by accident. Really liked it as a late night watch. I think Running Man was some fine slop, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't a special film. It was a fine action movie. But I will say I think OG Running Man is better. Like, I really do. I think it's a better movie. New Running Man wasn't as good. But it was fun. I had a good time. Oh, for sure. I used to run a ton of Minecraft servers off old PC hardware. Had fun min-maxing hardware allocation and power draw. Got it down to less than a light bulb worth of electricity draw to keep the server smooth for 10 people. Dude, that's sick. That's very cool, Adder. I port forward through and then a link that we blocked. Hopefully you didn't post an IP, dude. It's good that we blocked that. If you tried to post an IP, don't post an IP. That's dangerous. I also bought a domain for $5. You have it running Proxmox? Proxmox. That's it. Back in middle school, I couldn't afford all that, so I set up a private Discord server streaming a script running ipconfig every couple minutes so people could find the IP when it changes. Nice, Burnout. That's definitely not secure, but that's fun. Speaking of art winning over corporations, the dude that painted the whale mural in Houston that got painted over for FIFA has a real case for 25 million. Hell yeah. I don't know about the whale mural. Speaking of not watching trailers, saw 5 minutes of the new God of War trailer and just closed it. Looks great. Do want. Okay. I mean, I'm skeptical, Sushi, because I think that franchise definitely took a dip with Ragnarok. Turning Cock says, Adder, we had a whale mural in Milwaukee. It changed the whole vibe of the city when they painted it over. Yeah, I'm sure it pissed people off because it was like, depending on how long it's been around, it was like iconic. And then they're like, what is this trash? We don't want this new thing. Bring back the whale. My dad never allowed me to run a Minecraft server from our house even with static IP and port forward since he's a networking nerd. Yep. Your dad's smart. That's a huge fucking security hole. My whole Minecraft server besides the domain for $5 and power usage is free. Word? Oh, you port forward through playit.gg. I don't know what that is, man, but that's you should port forward through an actual firewall, not some weird VPN shit. I'm assuming that's what playit.gg is. It just needed to be its own IP. It feels not like the series it's spinning off of, but I also understand what the core IP is carrying the narrative. Mom of War.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Never finished Ragnarok, but the art alone in this new installment was so nice. I mean, Ragnarok was not a good game. They tried to do like modern audience, broad audience thing where it's like you don't have to solve anything yourself. And the God of War games are about the player making choices. So like I don't know why they would do that. That's a crazy decision. They tried to make Ragnarok more like a movie and less like a game, which I think is stupid. It's a bit strange. I wouldn't be surprised if you literally play as Kratos through part of it, but I agree with you. Oh, so is the protagonist female and not Kratos in New God of War?
Yes.
Interesting. It's kind of common. I don't think it's sketchy. They have a kind of big community, and it's not a VPN. You go to their servers. That's a VPN. If you're connecting to someone else's server, you're like basically on their network, and it's not an actual network. It's like a virtual private network, which is what a VPN is. Whale Mural in Houston was downtown on like a 10-story huge building. It was iconic to the area with plaques and shit. Then the FIFA organizers painted it over it so that they could plaster an unapproved ad without the mural showing through. All this without proper approval or permits. Yikes. Is it Atreus or Atreus? It's Atreus. Atreus' mom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. She wasn't a god, so that'll be weird. To be fair, Sushi, plenty of people are drooling over Crimson Desert for the art, and the game is mid. I mean, turning Cog, I think the opposite is actually true.
Cog hates Crimson Desert so much. So funny.
Yeah, I'm not a Crimson Desert player, but I think the opposite is true. I don't think the visuals are all that great. I think they're okay. They're what we should expect for a next-gen game in 2026. But I think the gameplay is what makes people enjoy Crimson Desert.
And it does look really fucking good. Like, yeah, no doubt about it. But yeah, I agree. It's not really about the art, I don't think.
So she said the art was mid. Yeah, that was kind of my take too. I think it was like kind of the standard for what you should be making for visuals for a game in 2026, especially if you're a big studio with funding. I don't think it did anything like spectacularly new or interesting visually. But yeah, the gameplay is what makes the game compelling to people because it's just so wacky. There's like so much shit you can do. And that's what people like. It's like a, medieval fucking, Dark Souls, Witcher, Breath of the Wild thing. It's like a mashup of a bunch of shit. They basically just didn't say no to anything, and
it
they
feels like
everything
the
in the
definition
game.
of a mile wide and an inch deep or whatever. Like, but it's also not like there is some depth, but there's just like so much in it. I don't know. It's crazy.
Wait, what were you saying? It's like a what?
It's like a mile wide and an inch deep, just because there's it's so big and there's so many things and there's so much going on. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's a great way to say that.
It feels like it has a lot of depth in it, but it's just like it's kind of overwhelming almost. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. It's not a very deep game, but there's so many different things to do that it's very interesting to people because you can like start the game and be like, I haven't gone in that direction. You go in that direction and you will find a ton of shit to do. It doesn't matter which direction you go in.
I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Push button says, I hope that artist gets a big win. Which artist? Are you talking about the Crimson Desert artist? Because I would assume that's a team of like 30 people, if not more. I just want the Crimson Desert money. I mean, I hear you, Adder. Gotta go make your own stuff first, I'm gonna go make some lunch. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, no worries, Pineapple. Thanks for coming through. You should get Star Citizen money. Sushi, my argument there is I don't know how much money they actually have because the burn through at that studio is absurd. Like the amount of money they spend to like make a higher cap is crazy. Ooh, yeah, I love a good scam. I do not love a good scam personally, but you guys, live your lives. Just tell me you're scamming so that I don't buy into your scam to try to support you. I don't have time for games like Crimson Desert, but I respect what they're trying to do. I don't like games like Crimson Desert push button. The like Tony said, a mile wide and an inch deep. That doesn't get me. I need a mile deep. I don't care if it's like, an inch wide or whatever. But as long as there's like a lot of mastery and depth in gameplay mechanics and stuff, that gets me every fucking time. Oh, the whale artist. Yeah, no, I agree. Adder was saying that dude's got like a potential 25 million lawsuit. So yeah, he'll probably make 10 mil after they settle. Yeah. Cloud has laid off another huge round of devs in the last 6 months, so I don't think they're doing great. Damn, I never bought Crimson Desert because I thought it was from a Chinese studio. Never mind, South Korea. Burnout, the best way to think of it is that Crimson Desert is like Breath of the Wild, but like not a Nintendo Kids game, if that makes sense. So you should check it out, man. You might like it. I actually kind of think it would work well for you because just the way you play games, like, you like to fuck around for like an hour or so and like just get into some nonsense, and then you get, bored and want to go do something else. I think you could fuck with Crimson Desert and have a good time, like for real. It is a single player game though, and I know you mostly like playing multiplayer. Like you like getting up to shenanigans with the boys, and you can't really do that in Crimson Desert. It's more of like a solo shenanigans experience. Adder, what's Cloud? Is that the... Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what Cloud is, bro. Do the masters of making money disappear? I'm curious if they get investigated for embezzlement. Dude, that's going to happen. Conan has been great for shenanigans with the boys. Cloud Imperium Games. Oh, I keep thinking that's Chris Roberts Space Industries. And yes, I'm absolutely with you on that. The way they spend money doesn't really add up at a surface level. It's crazy. Like, it's fucking crazy. So that's where I'm not, there's some sus going on there. Turning Cog, what do you like about Conan? Player housing? I've actually been playing hella Civ 5 with the homies. Fuck yeah, Burnout. Civ 5 is so good. It does not add up, that's for sure. PoE 2 getting its biggest weekend since... Oh yeah, LFQ, talk to us about PoE 2, man. I'm not plugged into that. I know you've been like very excited about it. Also, guys, just another reminder, Evo 2026 is, I think, happening at the end of the month. Yeah, June 26th to 28th. So if you guys want to watch Evo, it's going to be that weekend. Evo's always a very fucking hype and fun tournament. It's incredible. So yeah, it's fighting games. There was a new game that's premiering at Evo that we talked about on the channel a little bit ago. I can't remember what that game is. Let's see. I want to see if they've got listed games here. Events. Evo 26. Come on, where's the schedule? They may not have the schedule up yet. Yeah, I don't think they do. Anyway, somewhere there's a list. But we're 22 days away from Evo. Fuck, what was this fighting game I was talking about? It might be Harada's new fighting game. I think they might premiere it there. I don't know, guys. I'll know more as we get closer to Evo. Let's see. PoE getting its biggest weekend. Sorry, LFQ. I just read that. I'm liking it. It's been pretty fun. Hell yeah. Not capturing me as hard as PoE 1, though, but I wasn't expecting that either. Nice. Burnout says, also, Vince, been waiting for the Fractal Grove merch, like hoodies and shirts for almost a year. Where they at? Bro, we're trying.
No, like legit. I was thinking about it last night. I might work on it today. So I'm not even just saying that because you brought it up. Like, I was kind of planning on it. So very soon.
It's the hard part is that, like, it's me and Tony doing everything. Like, we have people help us, but we work full time on the studio and we have to do every job. So like, it's a lot. And
if you go to fractalgrove.com, there's a shop button right here. There just ain't nothing in there right now, but like I have all of the infrastructure ready to go, but we got to get the supply side.
Oh, Tony, I meant to catch you up. I was telling you that there was this person I met who might be able to help us with some social media things recently. I got a message last night from them saying, you know, they went and checked out the website and stuff.
Yeah.
And the message was, who made your website, with an interrobang at the end? Like, what the fuck? Or like, no, it was more, where did you buy your website or something like that? And I was like, oh, Tony made that and his brother did the graphic design. So yeah, it was like, they are badasses. Because you guys are.
Yeah, someday this will like probably have some more to do with the stream, even for you guys. Like, there's definitely the ability for you to sign into it, and you know, it kind of keeps track of your participation in chat and all of that. And you know, there's always been big plans, and a lot of the infrastructure is in place. So, like Adder said, it's just like, I don't know. I think I've even figured out where to get the shirts and stuff, but like I got to go sign up for an account and figure it all out and make the designs and you know, just kind of jazzed on some of this dread stuff I'm doing. So a lot of the time I don't want to step away from that, but literally no one else is going to do it. And like, we're pretty particular about how we want it done too. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's always been something that like, I want to make sure, especially by the time dread's done, like we have the whole thing set up. There's merch, the YouTube channel's going, you know, dread comes out. That's always been the plan. So very soon.
Yeah, and in case you guys are wondering, I'm talking to a marketing person because you know, my gut is telling me dread's a couple of months away. We got to get started on that shit. So Tony and I need to focus on game and finishing the game. And if someone else is helping us with marketing, it just takes that off our plate and makes it a lot easier. So that's why that matters.
But you can see like the whole, there's an admin panel on our website. Like I can monitor the stream from here and everything that happens, but it has all of our analytics for like Twitch and YouTube. And I can, you know, this is where the first game gets kicked off and where, you know, we control like the topics that show on the topic displayer thing. And everything is in here. And, you know, this is how we configured the Linktree page. Like I've been setting all this stuff up for like a year. So it's all coming together, and a lot of the stuff is, you know, going to be in place. I have stuff to replace like Coffee and Patreon and all of that, but just it's a lot to set up and keep track of and maintain, and so a lot of it we just haven't really prioritized yet. But
for what it's worth, I loved the first website you made. This one's obviously like way more extra, and not in like a negative way. It's just it's doing a lot more. It's more robust.
I mean, I've talked to Eric Simplesons about how like someday like the game builds and stuff like that are probably going to show up in here, and like analytics about people playing the games and all sorts of stuff. So we got big plans.
Mocap says that does look good. He's impressed. So that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Burnout said, Dubs, I will actually try and buy some merch. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Burnout, I really appreciate that. So
we've got other ways for custom make that I think we're probably going to explore because we might get better margins.
I found one that I had like kind of landed on at least a few months ago when I was trying to figure out what we were going to do. I'll probably, you know, just send Claude out to make sure that there's not a better one at this point. But like, I don't even remember what it is. I have it written down somewhere. But, you know, trying to find a drop shipper that makes the best t-shirts. That's like, we're trying not to have shitty t-shirts. And if they're going to be drop shipped, they're going to be DTG printed. DTG is way worse than screen printing pretty much 100% of the time, but you almost can never get drop ship screen printing. So we would have to buy like, you know, 50 shirts or something. We don't want to do that. So.
Burnout was asking if we have a Fractal Grove account system. Tony has been trying to build something.
If you go to the website, like you can sign in, and it also, if you sign in with Twitch, like every time you send a message on the stream or you sub or you send bits or anything like that, all gets tracked in here under your name. So like if I look for Burnout here, like I won't actually open it up and dox you or anything, but like you're right here. And if you were to like sign into the website with Twitch, then that would all just be connected. And like someday we're considering doing like integrated things with the stream and stuff that might happen from here. But that's how that all kind of works right now. And you could also sign in with your email and all of that and like connect it all together. And then, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Tony Teal. That's fucking funny. Turning Cogs. Turning Cog was trying to make some jokes about, I don't care what you said about player housing, but he clearly heard me. So I know what you like about Conan is player housing. Okay. Adder was saying something about Arcane. Okay, wait. They have like a third of the team the size of Bungie, and have made significantly less content in the same amount of time that Bungie went through, and 500 million, half of what Cloud has raked in. The math doesn't math. Yeah, exactly. I know they do not pay their dev team well. Their salaries are notably sub-industry standard. That's crazy. Yeah, and then Adder was saying it's a lot doing all of it, all the things that we got to do to run a business. Working on merch and company branding takes up whole days worth of work that could have been spent on making the game. It's a wild balance. Yeah, and we, for the first probably like 2 years, I think we were struggling to kind of find that balance. And we've got a lot of drive with Dread, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we know that releasing Dread will at least help supplement the income for the company. And if we have all these different, vectors for like gaining money, we can self-fund and we can use that to keep making games. Like that's the whole goal, guys. So like creating all these things that feed into each other to support building games is like what we're building, like that's the whole goal.
We always talk about like follow your passions, but not in like the weird cheesy way that people say it, more just like on a given day, like if you are kind of like feeling inspired to do a thing adjacent to the things that you do, like you should lean into that and kind of just, I don't know, there's always something to do. So that's always kind of been my perspective, is like I'm really burnt out on working on the game. I can work on the stream, I can work on the website, I could edit videos, I could make random shit that may or may not ever get used someday. Like I don't know, it all kind of contributes to the same thing at the end of the day. Like it's always going to be there tomorrow. It's almost no point in rushing to some point. So
exactly. Yeah. Giving yourself the extra stress of a time constraint is only necessary if you've signed a deal and someone has given you a bunch of their fucking money, because then you are obligated to them to meet your end of the agreement. If you're in control of all of your own stuff, you have so much more room to breathe and make decisions that are going to be better for the longer term instead of the best short-term decision that's going to have long-term consequences, right? Also, Mocap said, with my life, the light at the end of the tunnel is more tunnel. Bro, I understand where you're coming from, but I have to say, you built the tunnel, brother. You can make that tunnel wider. You can make it shorter. Like don't put yourself through undue and unnecessary stresses. Like, you have found some success and made some cool shit. Just keep doing what you're doing, consistency and persistence, like tenacity of chasing it. Like those things are the most important piece. And you've broken through a few areas where you've already made some things and put them out there and expressed yourself. Just keep going. Oh, I don't mind. I just know it never ends. Well, don't think about it as a tunnel. So I like this. So this is silly. This is a quote from like a Destiny weapon, but I loved it. Because it's like flavor text that got used on like a Pinnacle Crucible weapon for trials. But it always like struck a chord with me, like philosophically. So the quote is, "It is not the height of the cliff, but the struggle of the climb that that clears my eyes." So the point is that reaching the top of the mountain, isn't necessarily always the goal or the way you find satisfaction, but it's the journey that brings you there. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. So don't think about it as a tunnel. Like subconsciously you're going to make yourself like resent some of the hardship or whatever. I know you're probably just joking around because you love what you do, but try to keep it in a positive light, at least when you're thinking about it, like on your own space, and be like, this climb is awesome. And there's going to be another peak beyond that one that I need to get to, right? Like, I think that's cool. Yeah, and it's the journey and the struggle that brings clarity of mind, not necessarily reaching the destination. I said I didn't hear you because the coffee grinder was going, not that I'm not listening to you. Whatever you say, Turning Cog. Yo, what's up, Typical? Married Unk. Let's go, dude. Wife's there, so won't be staying long. Just dropped in to say hi. Well, thanks for coming by, buddy. You don't need to make the tunnel wide. Stress stretches it out nicely. Bro. That is a wild comment, dude. It's tunnels all the way down. I just know it never ends. Yeah. Signed into the website and the little bell has a blip by it, and I can't click to remove it. Literally unusable kappa. LFQ is giving you some criticism there, Tony.
Oh, yeah, I said I was getting some LFQA.
Ah, nice, dude. Yeah. Tunnels and tunnels, mole man life. Yeah, I feel like that describes your existence pretty well, Turning Cog. My tunnel's so stupid they call me the boring company. Nice, Burnout. I like that, dude. That was a well-constructed wordplay there. You like that quote, mocap? Here, let me actually like copy paste it into chat. And this was from like Destiny 1, I think. This was like not D2 stuff. This was like first iteration of Trials of Osiris. The name of the weapon is the Glass Promontory, which also leans into that flavor text. There you go. But yeah, that always like, because I was working at Bungie when that weapon came out, and I was like, yeah, this is how I'm gonna make cool shit in this game, you know? I thought about the struggle and how like the struggle matters, especially when creating art. Like, you guys have probably heard me say that like creation and building things can be, you know, it's agony. And what I mean is like it should be, because like through struggle, that's where you make good art. So I don't know. I see it as like not necessarily a qualifier of a good or a bad thing, but just nature. It's the way it is. When you do something that matters, it's hard. It's hard to do. Sometimes it's easy, but when you add in struggle, you're going to make something better. One of my favorite quotes from Sam Raimi is easy to make, hard to watch. Yeah. I think that's kind of the opposite, but like, I don't know. So this is weird. I'm like contradicting myself a little bit because like my time at Bungie making the Whisper and 0 Hour, which are the two things I'm known for the most, those were really fucking easy things for me to make. Everything else was a struggle. It was really hard. But getting to that point where I could make those things was, you know, the climb up the cliff, right? That's what it was. Easy to make, hard to watch. Spider-Man 3. Is that the one with Tobey Maguire and the emo haircut?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
The best Spider-Man ever made. He was so sassy. Was that the one with Dallas Howard or Bryce Dallas, whatever her name is? Was that with hers, Gwen Stacy?
I think so. I've only seen that one like literally one time, so I feel like I've seen the other ones like 10 times each, and I've only seen that one once. But.
That one's not worth a second watch. That is such a weird movie.
Kind of same with the Andrew Garfield ones. Like, seen them all once. Never really felt like I needed to go back and watch them again. So credit to Tobey Maguire. The first two are classics.
I think Toby and the young Zoomer kid, I can never remember his name, are the best Spider-Mans.
I was going to say Timothy Chalamet, but that's not right.
He's the dude who's dating Zendaya. Yep. Tom Holland, that's it.
There it is.
Yeah, I like Tom Holland is a great Peter Parker. Is this man rage baiting chat into sending pictures of Spooderman? What? What do you mean? Are you like a fucking Spider-Man 3 stan, dude? What do you mean? There's no rage bait here. Big 26 Hollywood is now Oh yeah? What's the Big 26? $2026? Bro, you speak in terminally online, and it's hard for me to understand. The crazy thing, Burnout, is that like you're an articulate, smart person, but you just speak fluently an idiot on the internet, which I try to, but I don't know. I can't reach that same depth, bro. I need to watch 8 hours of TikToks, don't I? That'll get me there. Nobody cared who was till he put on the mask. Is that Green Goblin? What are you fucking saying right now, Turning Cog? Oh, this is Bane? Yeah, dude, you're mincing your fucking shit. That's Batman, dude. That ain't even in the same fucking creative universe there. Your IPs are all fucked up. It's literally Dream. I mean, that's a quote from fucking bro. What? What in the fuck are you guys on right
I
now?
get it, Burnout. I get it. That was a good one. That was a fucking good one.
I don't get it.
So, do you know who Dream is, the Minecraft streamer?
No.
Okay, so he's a Minecraft streamer, and he was extremely famous for a while, and nobody had ever seen his face.
Oh, I know who you're talking
and then
about.
he revealed
I know
his
who you're talking
face,
about.
and everybody thought that he looked a lot goofier than they expected him to look. He was ridiculed about it endlessly, and then eventually he went back to like wearing a mask all the time in public, I believe.
I remember.
Yep.
Tony, I'm sad that you know who Dream is. But also, hey, that's okay. It's not
like OG Dream, like manhunt videos or whatever they were called. Like there was a time where they were pretty hype. And,
okay.
Yeah,
He
but then
cheated on his
it
world
came
record
out
run?
that like it was all bullshit, and he's like, oh, I accidentally had this mod enabled that I didn't know about that like made the game have better RNG than it's supposed to have. Like, whoops.
See, like
Yep.
Burnout saying that genre of scripted Minecraft videos gets insane views.
Yep.
This is the shit that is the symptom of brain rot. You're like,
Yep.
that's crazy. Look at these views. Who the fuck cares? Like that's the wildest part to me.
They
That's
were
not
high
a
effort
thing.
and like well made enough at first to not seem like too scripted, but over time, like so bad.
Yeah, but like just that effort, I think, is the thing that I'm talking about. Like you're not doing anything to further humanity, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like nonsense. That's what I mean. And then it makes you go like, oh shit, that number's crazy. Like they've already captured your brain. Like big tech has manipulated you into thinking that you care about insane views. Like I was saying, if you're Burnt Pineapple and you've got a thing that you're trying to sell, that's when the views matter. If you're just getting likes and views and shit like that, and that's the thing that matters to you, you're doing it wrong. You'll never win that. You'll always chase that dragon and waste your life. Motherfuckers like Wembu and him get tens of millions of views per scripted Minecraft video. I mean, it's the snake eating itself.
Does Dream still make Minecraft videos? I definitely don't watch that shit anymore, but I thought Dream was kind of out of the scene.
Also, to be fair, I'm talking shit, but I'm not better than you guys. I've been watching Project Zomboid YouTube fucking scripted videos lately. They're very chill. I don't know. It's like watching old garbage TV. Oh, Adder says he's better than you guys. So, I mean, probably true. But Dream's still making millionaires?
Interesting.
My best friend's dad doesn't play games except Project Zomboid. He has like 20K hours in that game. Nice. I mean, that's what
everybody's dad when you become a dad, I think.
Yeah. That's what I think is interesting about it. I have zero desire to play Project Zomboid, but I find the game as a game designer very compelling. And so I watch these longer form videos because I can like let my mind wander while someone's like, oh, I collected all these. Oh, shit. Bro, what in the fuck, LFQ? Thank you, man.
Shit, bro.
You are an insane supporter. Thank you. Thank you so much, LFQ.
Thank you so much.
20 fucking gifted. Rune Glazed Donut got one. One Backbug got one. ABK467. Jacked Back. Hoshkins. Hyperon's got a sub. Fuck yeah. Morango, you got the sub. Get your fucking get your emotes in there. Belly Arms hasn't been around for a while, but got a sub.
Belly Arms.
I miss Belly Arms. I hope you're doing okay, Belly Arms.
I thought that was a good name.
LF Dub, man's got that new job money. Dreammate got shit on the LFQ bag. Yeah, for real, dude. Thank you, LFQ. You're an amazing human being. Thank you. It's shocking every time you drop
Absolutely
fucking chunks of gifted. Yeah, Gil, LFQ just dropped 20 gifted for us, so fucking huge. Thank you, man. Oh, Turning Cog with the prime. Thank you, brother. That man's got that new job money. Lol, if only. Yeah, dude.
You guys are crazy.
LFQ
Thank you
goat.
so much.
How you doing, Gil? How's that RTS coming? How's the side project procrastination coming? Still keeping your head down, little bro? They're doing too much out there. Let's see, guys. Do I have any? I've got some news things we can get into that are kind of interesting. Okay, so last week I talked about Mina the Hollower. Anna, what the fuck? Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the gifted. Nice round number. You got us to 50. Thank you. That's huge.
You, Anna. Good to see you.
50 or 51? Yeah, good to see you, Anna. Welcome back. I hope you are still living your best life out there, you know, ignoring the local to your community and country stressors. You didn't miss it, Gil. There you go. Thank you, Anna. Gil, get those emotes in there. So unironically, procrastinating 3 projects for a month, I got 33% into dev. Nice, dude. I mean, progress is progress, bro. If you can find motivation one way or another, that works. Like, I tried to explain living La Vida Loca of Latin politics. Dude, you have such a good, positive personality when it comes to like crazy ass shit, Anna. So we really appreciate you. Yeah, you're awesome. Like, everybody in this community has such a good sense of humor. I really appreciate you guys. Like, it's everyone's so fucking different. And you guys are all just chill, and like that's awesome. Like I'm trying to think in, going on 3 years of streaming, I don't think we've ever had anyone in chat like fight with each other. And everyone's so different, but you guys just love coming in and hanging out and being chill with each other. I never expected that. I expected that like some degree of Twitch was going to get shitters, and like it's very random that we get negative, garbage people in here, and you guys chase them off real fucking fast. Like if it's not me dropping like roasting them for a second, it's like, yeah, there you go, Brightside. Psh, couple of grown men talking about $20 subs or whatever subscriptions. Yeah, exactly. Hago Zomba, what's up? Welcome to chat. Pineapple, you missed out, dude. We just got hella gifted from these fucking amazing human beings in chat. We got Anna and LFQ dropping some gifters on us, so that's fucking awesome. You guys are great. Let's see. Gil, co-working helped me through the slump. Chat is a reflection of the streamer. Oh, dude, that's the nicest thing you've ever said, Turning Cog. Like, that made me emotional. Thank you. And I know that also includes Tony. That's not just me. I know that there is a significant chunk of the community who like is only here for Tony, and I get that. It doesn't have to be about me. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for another sub. You're awesome. How do you know a man if you haven't fought? I mean, that's real, Gil. Yeah, that's like very real. And I do be fighting with a lot of people unintentionally. I got strong opinions, Maybe it's just me thinking that like we don't quibble on things because I don't take it super seriously. Like I'm fine arguing with people that I care about. I actually prefer arguing with people that I care about over like random strangers because there's at least some context. You can have a real conversation, both grow as human beings. I think it's great. I need it. I hate these ads. I mean, I understand, Pineapple. It's rough out there. Wait, we shouldn't have ads on. You must be getting pre-roll. So Pineapple, if you are getting ads, just don't close your browser because I'm 99% sure that we turned all that shit off. Hagozomba. So we are a game studio, Fractal Grove. I'm Vince. My business partner is Tony. He's down there. I do creative direction and business stuff, team building, and like this is the type of project we're doing, and all those things that are not super fun, but I just take too well, I guess. And Tony does tech stack in, engineering and like VFX, like all kinds of crazy shit. So I've been making games professionally as a game designer for like 15 years. Worked on a bunch of stuff, everything from like mobile games to AAA. I worked on Destiny for like 5 years. We started Fractal Grove about 3 years ago, and we're making this game called Dread. So that's what you're looking at. That's what Tony's working on. And the format of our show is usually me yapping and engaging with chat while Tony's building something really cool in the background. And for, a lot of you guys have been around for a long time, so you understand that, like, when you're here, if I'm yapping about film or some dumb shit and you want to know what Tony's talking about, please drop a message about like, what is Tony doing? Can you show us more of this stuff? And then I'm happy to steer the conversation in that direction. It's not like, forbidden or anything. You guys don't have to respect whatever bullshit I'm yapping about. But I appreciate that you guys also enjoy this stuff. I liked Adder's answer to how do you know, man, if you haven't fought? By talking to them. Yeah, that's true. Having a beer and talking about stuff you don't agree about. I think that's the best way to know a person. Fighting is also a good way, but there's consequences. Sometimes you don't come out the other side of that. Strong or loud opinions? I mean, probably both, Pineapple. I definitely have both. What type of game is it? So it's a 2D walking sim psychological horror game. A good comp is, if you have Steam, look up Vardio. I'll drop this in chat for you. So similar to Vardio, but also at the same time very different in other ways. We're leaning into King in Yellow, and I think the horror community calls it a cognito trap, but like a cognition trap of like understanding this. You've gained some new knowledge, and that's dangerous to your existence. So stuff like that. Chambers and Lovecraft. That's the direction we're going with this. So that's where you're going to get the psychological horror part of trying to reconcile the nature of reality and whether or not like stuff is in your head or not. Whiffy's ARG reference? No. So King in Yellow is an anthology written by Robert Chambers in the early 1900s, late 1800s. I think it was the late 1800s, because it's based off of Ambrose Bierce's A Resident of Carcosa, I think is what it was called. I'm looking up a date for you on Chambers here, so you know when it was published. 1895 is when he wrote The King in Yellow. Robert Chambers, first published by F. Tennyson Neely, collection of short stories, which is an anthology. It's significant in the realm of supernatural horror and has influenced later writers in the genre. So, like, arguably, we would not have Lovecraft if it weren't for Chambers. So that whole thing that people love about like Cthulhu mythos and the Necronomicon and all that shit wouldn't exist without Chambers. Which also wouldn't exist without Ambrose Bierce. Fractal Stranding, hire this man on your marketing team right now. I mean, dude, we can't afford Adder. And Adder's way better at stuff other than marketing. Okay. Vince, what happened to Hyperskate? Nothing, dude. We took a break to work on Dread. And we've learned a ton of shit about different systems in Unreal that are going to help with Hyperskate. So the goal, it's definitely like outgrown its, clothing in a way. The goal for making Dread was to like game jam, do a very simple game in like 1 month. But we've built some really fucking cool stuff that took it from like a 20-minute experience to like a 2-hour-long experience. And these like novel tech and novel systems that Tony has built that are very, very cool that we want to use. And it just, the scope has just grown a lot. So we're closer to, we're past the 6-month mark working on Dread. But yeah, we're going to be closer to a year before we release it, I think. But that's in October, so we've still got like 5 months to go. So we got some time. It's not a crazy thing. And also the time constraint was arbitrary. We just put that on ourselves. We don't have like a publishing deal where we have to hit a certain date for release and stuff like that. So That's a nice thing. We could pivot to being like, let's do more things. Gil says, I love when you cover new UE versions or the game dev community news. Hell yeah. Thanks, dude. Which reminds me, I was trying to get into Mina the Hollower because I did see some conversations around that. If you guys are familiar with Shovel Knight, Vince gets us building forts of office furniture and doing trust falls. That really distracted me. So Shovel Knight was this breakout game for the studio called Yacht Club. And Mina the Hollower was their second game. It took a very long time for them to make. I think it's weird because it has, 8-bit NES graphics, like pseudo 8-bit. There's too many colors here for it to truly be 8-bit. This is more like 16 or 32, but in an 8-bit visual style. This game looks bad on Steam because it's, people use concurrency as a measure of success, which is not true. Concurrency just means players logged into Steam playing a game at any given moment. So that's what concurrency is. It's just at the same time, there are this many people playing. If you look at the numbers from Mina the Hollower, I think their peak on Steam was like roughly 13K, which is not huge. However, I've seen like they did some public interviews and stuff. The CEO is Sean Velasco, and he was talking about how the sales of Mina means that they made it past the break point. They're going to continue to operate. They're going to be able to make more games. So Mina is financially successful for Yacht Club. So just keep this in mind, guys, when you're looking at like, I know it's really popular nowadays for gamers and the community of people who play games to go look at concurrency numbers to judge the health of a game. The thing you need to keep in mind is that Mina the Hollower's on every console. So we have no insight into that console sales performance. Mina is a single player game, so concurrency is moot. It literally doesn't fucking matter whatsoever to gauge success of this game. It's more important for like a live service game and something that's online with multiplayer to see the health of it in that way. So, I saw people, I saw some tweets. People were talking shit about Mina the Hollower, and I get it. If you don't like it, it's totally fine. This is not a game for me. But calling it a failure is objectively wrong. It's just not, you can't use Steam concurrency numbers to judge that. So that's kind of the reason I wanted to talk about it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't want to play a game like this in 2026. I don't have this like rose-colored, glasses on to look back at playing, 8-bit games and be like, this is incredible. This is a life-changing experience. I don't fucking care. Like, I want more modern, visual conventions and stuff like that. Oh, the pivot to Mortal Shell 2. Thank you, Tony. Case in point, looks fucking amazing. We know a guy who's been working on this. Okay, I need to catch up on some chat. Sorry, guys. Okay, what type of game would it be? I covered that for you. I got some honk shoes from Anna and Turning Cog. Are you guys tired? Was I being boring? I'm sorry. And then we got Fractal Stranding. Also, thank you, LFQ. You're welcome, Mocap, on his behalf. Sans babies. I mean, or like as many babies as possible to make it very fucking weird. Steam updating time is trash. You're getting like a Steam updates right now, Zomba? King in Yellow is the main thing I think of. I watched all the backlots. I don't know anything about backlots, bro. That honestly makes a pretty interesting and horrifying short film. Looking at browser history, yeah, absolutely, dude. You could literally write a whole fucking short film on like browser history. You could definitely do that. Back lore, yeah, exactly. Giving out gold bars for free, that's a terrible idea, Adder. Don't do that. We're gonna lose our ass. Someone who's planning to destroy society is to release everyone's browser history. Yeah, absolutely. Does BioShock count as Lovecraftian? No. So BioShock is actually Ayn Rand, Gil. It's utilitarianism or objectivism. I can't remember which philosophical, course of study it is, but it's like, it's kind of in the line with that. Like pragmatism and capitalism, like conservative viewpoints, if that makes sense. So that's the whole point of BioShock, is like a juxtaposition of these conservative viewpoints that are restrictive on like individual autonomy and freedom. And like that's the whole point of BioShock, is that you're like proving that this guy's beliefs about the nature of humanity and society are wrong, and that you're fighting against them the whole time. That's the whole BioShock business. You're pretty much procrastinating between projects as I do. Yeah, absolutely, Gil. I think we've got like 5 projects that we've started. Interesting. So it's a game where there are assets in 2D but a 3D type. For Dread, no. Dread's a full 3D game. Or are you talking about Mina, Zomba? Hire him cheap for marketing, make him work side projects for all the good stuff. Thinking capitalist. We can't hire Adder for cheap. Yeah, same type of shit I do with my music projects, low key. You learn from project to project. Yeah, that's very real. Hear me out. A relative dies, super nice person everyone thought was the greatest. Then they're processing their belongings to find a computer in the garage that strangely is never dusted over, but also seemingly never used. Open the browser history, insert trailer music. I think that was a premise for an episode of Black Mirror, like for real. 80% done, time to start a new project. Yep, that's very common. Finishing is really hard, guys. Starting is always fun. Everyone loves to start a new project. The middle part in getting to that 80% is really hard. And then you have to like shift your mindset to finish, which is also hard. So there's like kind of 3 mindsets you need to have for a creative endeavor. Definitely. We've been at 90% with MS2 since mid 2025. Nice. Zumba said noted. Cool. I hope I answered your question, Zumba. What is Mortal Shell 2? It is a game. It's what Adder is working on. It's what we're showing on screen right now. Anna says, I've got a few games. I've a new game for you, Vince. Glagstone 1-bit city builder with story building launching at the end of the year. Yeah, let me check this out. I have that pulled up, so I'll get back to that in a second. Adder's indie art project where he's doing cute experimental visuals. Mortal Shell is, yeah. Got me interested. Okay, sweet. Tony with the plug. Yep. Mortal Shell 2 looks like my kind of game for sure. Absolutely mocap. Everything in it looks really good. And I've been telling Adder that my only concern is if it actually plays well. Because like you don't know until you get your hands on it. And he's like, I totally understand, you know, for what it's worth. Like Adder's a very sober professional in that regard, where he's not like, oh man, that sucks. I promise you it's good. He's like, nah, definitely play it. Check it out on your own. I feel confident. It's fucking cool. Stevie has more viewers than who? Than us? I don't care about that, bro. I appreciate the people that are here with us now. Anna says not tired. Okay, good. I didn't know what you guys were honk shoeing about. This was the hype train emote we got. Oh, I see. Looking at it, Mortal Shell 2 has amazing camera work during hits. Just about everyone has a camera tilt, but doesn't make me nauseous. Yeah, there you go, Adder. Thank you. I did all the camera lighting and a bunch of the shader work, all the cinematics. Yeah, you said it to the right guy. So you're complimenting the exact person. Isn't Lovecraftian stuff outside of our known reality? So I think the concept of psychological horror sort of comes from Lovecraftian things, Burnout. And that's like, you know, Chambers and Ambrose Bierce, and you know, it was Bierce, Chambers, and then Lovecraft that kind of like spawned the whole type of horror film or art, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's like a weird mix of, so there's this concept, you know, I refer to it as a cognito or a cognition trap, and that's the idea of eldritch knowledge. When you learn some ancient truth about the universe that is in direct conflict with like major religious beliefs, then you can't unlearn it, and it explains the nature of things. I think the best analog I can give you guys to like modern or contemporary art or sci-fi is Dark Forest theory, which is like a solve for the Fermi paradox in the 3-Body Problem series by Cixin Liu. I'm probably butchering that. I can't speak Chinese, so my bad. But yeah, Gil, it's kind of a paradigm shift. Yeah, like a cognito trap is like you've learned something that fundamentally changes the way you think about the nature of existence. And the horror aspect that Bierce, Chambers, and Lovecraft leaned into was, upon learning this knowledge, your life and your soul and like all these things from the early 1800s, early 1900s that like made a person are in danger. So it's not like a physical danger. It's like an occult, spiritual, mental, psychological danger. So it's a different thing. You got yourself a follower? We got a follower. Fuck yeah. For real, it looks friggin' immersive. Yeah, absolutely, Gil. Yeah, dude. Adder is so Adder and I both worked on Destiny at the same time, but he was at a partner studio. So that's like kind of how we connected and started chatting. And now he hangs out here with us a lot, which is very cool. Adder's a super cool dude. Actually went and visited him. He let us come to his house back in March. So that was very cool. It was great getting to meet the homie in person and hang out and have some beers and chit chat. It was dope. Zumba said, I'm thinking of making a Five Nights at Freddy's type game. There's a chance I can make, but I can't confirm. What do you mean, Zumba? Like, what are you thinking of that might be like tricky for you? Are you solo dev? Have you made a game before? What tools are you using? All that stuff. Five Nights at Freddy's, try not to die of obesity. Damn, burnout. Dude, you're fucking hilarious, bro. I'm very interested in real takes on the game. Legit looking forward to reading through reviews soon. Be careful, Adder. You know, you're seasoned, so you know that that's going to be dangerous for your mental health. Potentially. Even if it's just glazing and all positive, that's also not good for your mental health. Real life Eldritch knowledge is just tech. What's tech in the, you know, writ large or whatever, as you say? Also excited for Games Fest on Friday. Going to be some cool projects to the show. Yeah. So Summer Games Fest is Friday. It's Jeff Keighley's E3 replacement. So he's got 2 shows a year now about game stuff. I mean, there's going to be a lot of announcements. So we'll see if it's good. Omni says, love me some 3-body. Yeah, absolutely. It's very good. They big time dropped the ball on sitting on season 2 as long as they have. I agree, Adder. I think it, if anything, like, so the show is a little weird. The books are definitely better, but it's going to create more interest in the books, which is very good because I think the books are more important for people to engage with than the show. I love those goosebump moments. Yeah, absolutely, Gil. You, me, and who else? The 3 bodies. I mean, probably turning cog. I could see Omni turning cog and LFQ just getting the 3 bodies going. I don't want to see it, but I can imagine it. Good joke. Good read. Yeah, exactly. I don't want 3-body problems. I want 3-body solutions. Yo, dude, that's a great fucking quip there, Mocap. I love it. Are Steam reviews a cognito hazard? Yes. Yes, dude, they really are. Difficult part for me in thinking on how to make the models, maps, extra assets, etc. So Zumba, are you? I'm guessing you're a new game dev or you want to get into game dev, yeah? And I'm just gonna go off the assumption that that's correct. And I want to say that the biggest trick for new developers making your first game is the hardest part. Every game you make after your first game is much easier. So the best way to start is build something really simple. Don't make your Five Nights at Freddy's dream game for your first game. It's not going to be what you want. You could work on it for the next, 12 years of your life and never ship it. Think about much smaller problem spaces first. Build something really simple. Burnt Pineapple does this really well. Pineapple throws a bunch of shit together and is like, I like this, or I don't. But at least, I set out with some simple goals, accomplish those goals, and finished a thing. And then the next thing you make, you're going to be able to make even better than the first thing. Morango was doing the same thing. He made an asset flip game for like Halloween for some game jam thing. So, that's the hardest part. A lot of people want to get into game dev and they don't even do the first step, which is finishing a project. It's really, really hard. And unfortunately, there's some things that you learn about making games that you can only learn by trying to make games. No one can explain it to you. You can't get a tutorial for it. You just have to try, and then you'll get there. It's kind of like throwing clay or sculpting something out of marble, right? Like you have to do it. You got to learn the skills, what the traps are. There's too many. Eldritch knowledge, tech, or traditional ecological knowledge refers to involving knowledge, practices, and beliefs that indigenous and local communities develop through centuries of direct contact with their environment, usually completely unknown to outsiders and doesn't fold inside an observer's worldview. I would say like no contact tribes would be functioning off of tech, right? And the cognito trap is first contact happening with advanced human civilization, because now they're aware. Like if you think about an indigenous tribe, that lives in nature subsistence wise, like meaning they hunt, gather, or farm just to continue survival with no like robust conventions of civilization. Understanding that a smartphone exists and the internet is a cognito trap, because they can never go back. They're fundamentally changed, and they're like, fuck, dude, like, why are we even living this way? We don't want to. But before they were aware, they were totally fine and happy, right? Like they know life in a certain way. The constraints of reality are much smaller. But when you get outside of that, it gets crazy. Fab UE Marketplace, focus on those things when you have time, money, and or a project for the custom 3D models. Yep, this is very good advice from Adder, Zomba. They're time consuming to build, and I always advise avoiding custom mods until absolutely need them. Anna, did you just gift again? You're crazy. Thank you. All right, Zomba, enjoy your emotes. Thank you, Anna. You're awesome. Pineapples mentioned. You ever had a white pineapple? Only yellow and pink. Bro, what are you guys on? Yo, okay, kids, you kids out there, are you fucking with the pineapple Kool-Aid thing going on? Starting to see that?
I want to try it.
Yeah, I bet it's good, dude. Tony, you got like a crazy amount of, I don't know what you call it. Like gain is really high. I'm getting like white
My
noise.
gain is really high.
Yeah, I think so. I'm getting some like white noise. You seem better now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're way better now.
Yeah. The auto shit or something. Yeah.
Okay. You're fixed. You're all good. Let's see. That's all hard surface problems. It took me a quarter of a year to get comfortable with the pipeline and geometry in Blender. I also have a huge asset archive from Humble Bundle. Yeah, Turning Cog's got some good advice for you too, Zomba. I'm allergic to pineapples, so I don't fuck with them. However, white pineapple is delicious. Damn, Burnout, that sucks, dude. What kind of allergic? Like indigestion or like anaphylactic shock? Because if I got anaphylactic shock from like pineapple, I'd be upset. If nothing else, the Humble gets you good enough most of the time. Yes, and Fab Asset stuff. That's all really good stuff, Zumba. I am new. Yes, I'm solo, and I use Blender, and engine is Godot. I'm here because I like to watch games being developed. Awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us.
The sidewalk mesh that you see on the screen is probably the only custom mesh in this entire project right now. So,
Illuminous, where I didn't see if you posted another message about a vape. Which part were you asking is a vape?
I think he's talking about the pineapple Kool-Aid thing.
Yeah, what are you talking about? We need some clarity, bro. Pineapple says, oh, sorry. Burnout says a gadooter that's turning cog. Grown in Hawaii. I think they're also called sugarloaf pineapples. Okay. Acidic, way more than sweet, less acidic, and more sweet. Okay. I like acidic pineapple. I don't know what my next project should be. I'm thinking backrooms or horror or something. I don't know. I mean, follow your heart, pineapple. Like you have a ton of projects. Just keep going, dude. Keep making stuff. Enjoy spending money while we still have it in LATAM. Anna, that's so dark. Well, I appreciate you sending it here. Thank you. For real, I swear I just bought that shit from Habibi last week. Which vape are we talking about? The pineapples? What? I'm lost, guys. We had Echo for a moment, then it went away. Yeah, Omni, we got on that. It's like
Cog is correcting me here. We got some custom light meshes as well as the sidewalks that he made.
Yes.
Inside the wall a little bit.
Yeah, what? I'm lost on the vape thing. I don't. What were you guys talking about? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up and like talk and stay stay relevant on this shit. You guys are fucking funny though. Lone Star tick is scary. Becoming allergic to red meat and sometimes dairy. Yes, it is scary, Pineapple. But you got to remember that like it's very uncommon. Very uncommon. In case you guys are unaware, there's a potential pathogen. They don't know exactly what the mechanisms are for it yet. But you can be bitten by a tick and then develop an intolerance to protein, meaning that your body stops being able to break down proteins, which is really, really bad for survival. Yeah, playing ranked Red Sec because I like pain. Hell yeah, Luminous. Luminous, are you interested in season 2 of Marathon? It looks like they're going to do some PvPvE type shit that might be fun and like less stressful. I'm down to check it out. You know, I've made a lot of statements about how I don't think PvE would work in Marathon, but I got to put my money where my mouth is and go play it and see if it actually works, because it might. Pardon me, Tony. Those lamps are hella custom meshes. There we go. Yep. Played it for the first time in months yesterday. Okay. Were you just playing solo, Omni? I'm hella scared about those ticks, but luckily they aren't where I live. I've had 4 tick bites in the last month, so I'm paranoid as fuck. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Burnout. Ticks are like very unnerving. It's horrible to have a tick on you. In the developer community, I'm probably one of the youngest thinking of making a game. I'm younger. Zumba, you're fine, but just be careful talking about age on Twitch because you can get auto bans and all kinds of stuff. 17 is fine to mention, but yeah, we've got a wide range of ages in our community. You know, we've got people in their teens all the way up to people who are like, you know, middle-aged. I'm personally 42 years old, so old man. Yeah, and you're fine. I'm not trying to scold you or anything. I'm just trying to tell you, like, you know, protect yourself on the internet. It's dangerous. It's scary out here. There's crazy people out on the internet, so just be safe, guys. Let's see. Yeah, and I mean, this is a good time to start, Zumba. Adder got his start. Yeah, there you go. Adder, talk about your stuff. Never too early. Get that shit rolling, my dude. I got my first Activision gig when I was 17. Anything is possible. Adder, I think, started as a modder. That might be a better place to just wrap your head around stuff, Zumba. Oh, thank you, Zumba. Yeah, I'm 42. I'm 43 this year. I appreciate that you thought I was in my 30s. I know I've got a young face, I guess. Old people's up in here. Yeah, old people's home up in here. Yeah, exactly, dude. I want a pineapple Kool-Aid vape. That's it. Thank you, Illuminous. Chop and I will run some season 2. I'm actually all about Overwatch right now, and I main Genji. Yeah, dude. Good old Ganjo. Doing some jumping and some throwing of ninja stars and slashing with the sword. Yeah, dude. I've seen you in there. I was wondering. I'm glad you were talking about it. I was playing solo BF6 and mostly Portal, was trying out the Helis and Little Bird. Heli mechanic in 6 kind of sucks compared to 2042. That's a crazy statement, Omni. I think what you mean is it's very different and it's difficult to adapt. But I think 2042's flight was largely regarded as the worst in the series from people who are like super aircraft pilled in Battlefield games. But I mean, that's nothing new, Omni. You got some unique opinions. I'm starting, but I'm alone. What do you mean, Pineapple? Are you like, you mean you're starting your game dev stuff by yourself? Back in my day, we had to write every line of code. Yeah, absolutely. But at least you got to fuck around for an hour during compile time. Yeah, it's so real, Graham. Need a mechanic now where TikTok shows up immediately when Claude is responding? No. Was it good with a rig?
When you're supposed to just switch to your other Claude conversation and wait for the first one to finish. Do something else.
Yeah, Luminous, that's the thing that I was reading online, is that like people prefer 3, I think, as the one with the best flight mechanics. I can't remember exactly which version, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. Everyone thinks Battlefield 3 is the best Battlefield, like the Battlefield players, and they're always pining to get back to Battlefield 3. So 6 went pretty far in that direction in a good way, I think. But I've heard that flight mechanics were like garbage in 42. You know, anything after 3, really. What's up, AAA? Make horror game about navigating all the yellow table of bureaucracy. Tape? Yellow tape of bureaucracy? Do you mean red tape? I think the turn of phrase is red tape. Yellow tape is like police caution tape. I don't know. I don't know what you're going for. Like indie dev and modding, I guess. Yeah. Modding is a great way to start solo because a lot of the problems are already solved for you and you can just make stuff. So modding is a really good way in, guys. If you want to learn how to make games without like the anxiety and fear that comes with blue sky vision for a brand new project and you don't know how to do shit, like modding is a great way to start. The problem is that when you get really into modding, you'll get really good at making stuff for that one specific game, and it doesn't necessarily translate over. You'll get broader skill sets that help you understand like what making a game actually means and what it's like. So that's the good part. And then you have to learn tools to like take those lessons and start building your own thing. Let's see. Made a stack of popular Call of Duty mods, mostly levels, worked on Black Mesa, Oblivion mods, Project Reality, got a gig based off portfolio, mostly of mod content, some art. Game devs love portfolios like that, making it clear you're in it for the love of the game. Very real, Adder. Claude maxing. Yeah, I tend to have like 2 to 3 chats working. Nice. None of the BF game flight dynamics are realistic, but BF6 is really bad. The heli leans and flies nothing like a real one. When you lean in a heli like that, it should immediately move, and none of them, including the Little Bird, do it. Oh, we should put more effort into making them work more realistic instead of gamey, so they're actually difficult to use. Omni, like, again, you've got these like fringe opinions that only cater to you. You have to recognize that DICE is trying to make a game that is very expensive, that reaches the broadest audience. So they're going to index more on a controller player than someone with a full HOTAS rig. Like, that's why it plays that way. So I understand that you're saying you wish that it would be there, but I just think it's a weirdly unrealistic viewpoint. You know, I get it, but there's other things to play. Battlefield 6 is not your game if you want realistic helicopter sim. Have you tried like Reforger? Because that might be interesting to see what those flight mechanics are like. Battlefield 2 is greater than Battlefield 3 all day. Add me to those. BF3 is the best group. Yep. The actual best, though, Bad Company. Yep. There we go. Here's the Battlefield debate. You would hop on that group. Vince, what do you think about your personal connection to a project now that everyone is using AI? You used to write every line. Do you think you have less of a personal connection to interest, blah, blah, blah? I mean, I didn't actually write every line of code. I'm not a software engineer. So that's not what I'm good at. I've found that AI tools help me convey my ideas in my head. So the biggest challenge that I have in my job is taking the ideas that are in my head and putting them into someone else's head who can do a thing that I can't do way better than I can do way faster. So AI tools help me do that a lot better. It's just so much easier when I can get, spend like an hour in Midjourney creating concept art. And I've got like 16 examples of the thing that I'm trying to explain. It sells the idea really, really, really well and puts it in another person's head that's on the team. Then they can go make art, or they can, build a feature that we need in the game, like stuff like that. So wall jumping animation in 3 is so weird. It's like you're throwing 2 ropes over the wall before you go. I mean, I agree with you, dude. I think 3 is definitely weird. I think the pace of play in 3 is really good, but I've already gotten $500 from it. Hell yeah, Pineapple. How can you be so passionate about your project when you use AI versus building it manually? It's not it's a different tool set, man. It's just a different tool set. Like, think about it in this way: traditional photography versus Photoshop and digital cameras. That's it. Like, the art of photography still exists. You just have different tools. So that's the thing about AI tools. Just making stuff sounds like a dream. Yeah, exactly, Mocap. I mean, you know it. You're in it for the love of the game. Graham says, I would love Claude being able to write more of the code, but it's too dumb for some of the stuff I have to do, so I still caveman code by hand. Yeah. So Graham's speaking the real truth here. Tony uses AI to help him a lot, but Tony knows how to do all this shit on his own. So he can set it to go do some tasks while he's working on something else and manage. It's like he's managing a team, but he's really one person. So that's the best way to think about the application of the tool. Yeah, and Tony fucking said all of that. Sorry. Tony's already on that.
You're 2 books behind where we're at in chat
I'm so far behind you guys. Nothing will beat DMing in canals with nothing but a smoke launcher and one-shotting people in a clusterfuck of a smoke field you made for each decaying body and still getting first place. Yeah, exactly, Sushi. Yeah, I'm catching. Yeah, so Tony was talking about that normie day job stuff. Now, Reforger flight mechanics still kind of bums. Full HOTAS rig, nice. I want to try Reforger. Maybe I'll teach them to stay in school. Yeah, there you go, Burnout. Josh Lander and I are ready for you. Yeah, get in there, Omni. When selling your product to a customer, do you believe in your own product as much as before pre-AI? Just supporting projects I've been building for 5 years. Yeah. It's interesting, Burnout. I kind of understand where your line of questioning or thinking is coming from, talking about AI tools. But like the thing that is really important is that AI can't be inspired. It takes a person. AI can just do stuff based on existing data sets and like what people have already done. So if you don't use the inspiration and the ideas that you have in your own head, you're going to make trash with AI. Daisy Bro, Player Unknown's new survival game shutting down after 6 months. Surprised he's still plugging away on survival crafting variants. Yeah, that is crazy, Adder. Push the make game button. Yeah, don't do that. That's garbage. Automated the shit I already do. Understand the projects. Knocked out stuff we've avoided for years due to time and budget constraints. Yeah. Rest of the game is dope. Omni, if you're down to get DCS, I bought the Apache. Need a pilot or gunner. I'll just take a few weeks to learn how to fly. Yeah, I bought it. Just haven't tried it yet. Nice. Managing Cog while he's managing Claude, so he has his hands full. He's working on a bigger one that isn't announced yet as well. So the base game of DCS is free. You need to pay for all the aircraft. Managing Cog is the hardest thing. Yeah. Magic 8 Ball says don't look good. They need money though, so the latest one is a throwaway. Wild move. Yeah, I don't understand what PUBG stuff is doing. That's pretty crazy. Not just paying for aircraft, 200 gig for base game and 90 gig in aircraft. I have a wheel for racing games. Yeah, right here. It was a hand-me-down from Illuminous. Yeah, bro. The problem, Burnout, is that I really like to play Gran Turismo 7. Like, it's not because it's like the best sim, but it's the best game built around like sim racing. I recognize that Assetto Corsa has its own draws, but like I don't want to fucking like get all the way into mods to make Assetto Corsa good. You know, it's not great out of the box. iRacing, I don't want to have to pay for. iRacing's pretty expensive. Yeah, long stream today, LFQ. We're vibing. I mean, chat is popping. Y'all are hanging out. We got a bunch of gifters, so why not? We can run long. We got to get back to some GT7 playing. I need to replicate my M4. Yeah, I think the M4 comp is in Gran Turismo 7. I'm looking right now. They have it as a group 4, so we could do the DTM fucking RS5 previous gen, or like, yeah, we could do that versus like the group 4 race car. It won't be fair because the DTM RS5 is like in a different class entirely than this M4. So group 4 is just not as crazy. I want to say the RS5 DTM Turbo is group 2. So it's like the highest end GT car that you can get into. He does have an M4 comp. I still be having my racing rig with a Ferrari wheel. That's crazy that you got a Ferrari wheel. This one has a PlayStation logo in the middle of it. Yeah, burnout. So here's the problem. He bought an M4 comp and doesn't really know how to drive. Like he can drive, on the street, but he doesn't know how to race car drive. Like he has no idea where to start. So I've been like telling him that he really needs to get into, take a class. He needs to get some instruction. He does have a wheel. No, he's got a rig. We've played Gran Turismo 7 a few times. I got him like basically set up and kind of understanding how to get through a clean lap. Then I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go fast. And then it was gone. Like I could lap him. So he needs to there's some things he just needs to learn, like about a racing line, throttle control, steering angle, the 5 types of corners, stuff like that he needs to learn. Yeah, exactly, burnout. Yep. 85% of that stuff can be transferred over to real world driving. The hardest is the braking feedback. Yes, braking feedback is the weirdest shit ever in a sim rig. It feels so fake. You have to get a very expensive pedal box to make that feel good, and then you have to like adjust it. I mean, Illuminous has gone through this fucking agony of like getting a good pedal box. 217 averages on Spa, dude. That's sick. What class, Adder? Yes, I totally agree with burnout. Take a class, but also get into sim. I think taking a class is gonna be the biggest eye opener for Omni about like what the machine is capable of and where his limitations are as a driver, and that's probably gonna be really scary. I feel like there's kind of like two minds of people that get into motorsport. And you're like, I could do that. And then you get really terrified of where the limit actually is and like how much you need to focus on what you're doing. And some people shy away from that and they're like, I'm not going to ever do this again. It's too scary and too risky. I don't want to, die or destroy my car. And then there are other people who are like, this is an incredible feeling and I want more of this and I want to find out where my limits are. And I think that's the thing that Omni has not experienced yet with motorsport that he needs to experience, that he knows like, oh shit, maybe the M4 comp was like not a good idea. That's GT class, either GT2, 3, or 4. Big Z4 GT3 guy in Assetto lobbies. Nice, dude. Huge rally guy, actually. Greg, you should get a friend to give you a ride on a leader bike. That's totally different, burnout. That's totally different. Like bikes do not feel anything like cars, like at all. They're completely fucking different experiences. I know you know this, burnout, because you've always been into motorsport, but like Omni's newer to motorsport, like real new, like last couple years, like 2, and he's never been to a track day. Never ridden along with someone who's like really pushing the limit of a car. So like it's a very different thing. Yeah, experiencing the speed is one thing because that can be extremely overwhelming when you're in an actual fast car. But yeah, burnout. Did you know Adder has like a custom built E30 drift car? I'm pretty sure I've sent you like pictures that he sent me. His car's fucking sick, dude. Like custom suspension geometry, all kinds of shit, dude. Turbo inline 6, right, Adder? I'm about to embark on my new rally car build to bring out to local stage and rallycross. Lived at Rally Ranch, drive at Rally Ranch pretty frequently when we're not drifting. Oh, yours is an 87. Sick, dude. Pineapple, you got country roads plan? Illuminous says M4 comp, always a good idea. I mean, I think if you're going, so Omni used to have or still has a Z4 M40i. If you're going from that into like a more serious sports car, which the M40i is great. It's a great sports car, but the M4 comp is a very serious sports car. It's a lot closer to race car than it is sports car. That's why I'm saying, like, I would think the better jump up would have been to like an M2, but even then, like an M2 and an M4 are very, very close to each other in terms of performance. The M4 just has more power in the straight and is, faster. In real life, you're a big bike guy. What are you in fake life? Tony, you may have an echo because Pineapple was saying that he could hear Country Roads playing in the background.
I think he's just talking about the music that's playing on the stream.
Yeah, so he might hear it like echoing. I can hear a little bit of it through your mic, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Mainly racing dirt bikes, but I have had super sports. Cool thing about the comp is that you can set its modes and ease into understanding how to use it. I mean, yes, but that's not what those modes are for. The modes are so that you can like go get groceries and not be in the full uncomfortable race car mode that is like, this is serious and I'm just trying to move through traffic. You can press a button and go to like chill, and that's really nice. And then you're like, okay, it's serious time, and you press some other buttons and you go to like fast mode. That's crazy. Yeah, the trippy dude walking around Illuminous is something Tony's building for Dread that we need for a couple different applications in the game. The thing is, with newer BMWs designed to be safe to drive no matter the car, you can turn stuff. You can turn stuff off to get to more sports car feel, but they're made to be comfy and daily drivable as a standard. Exactly, Sushi. And the thing with the M4 is that when you turn all those modes off, you can literally use it for like time attack and like track driving. It's actually very serious on a track. That's why I'm saying, like, Omni got into way more car than he's ready for. He definitely needs to like do a lot of learning and get out there before he can like actually push it. Use BMW's track cars. They have a training course here, and I live in a near a track. Yeah, Omni, there's other ways to do it too. You could do the BMW thing is going to be way overpriced, very expensive, and you're probably not going to get a lot out of it. You're going to get like, holy shit, there's so much to learn. Thermal is fucking sick, dude. Probably the nicest driving experience in the US right now. Thermal Springs, Illuminous. It's a racetrack. It's like, maybe it's not Springs, actually, now that I think about it. It's Thermal, California. So it's like a place. It's like a city. Let's see. Gonna save up for it is pretty pricey even for just a day. Yeah, Omni, you should not. What I'm trying to explain to you is the BMW track experience isn't meant for you to actually learn some shit. It's meant for you to be in like, I'm a pretend race car driver, fucking adult daycare type of a thing. And it's very expensive, and you get the premium BMW experience. Like, that's what it is about. It's not really focused on driving. It's like BMW merch and culture and all of that, and also some driving. I think you should do a pure fucking track day. Like, get literally, okay, this is going to sound crazy, but buy like an old MX-5 Miata and take that to like an autocross event. Just bone stock and go race that shit. What is it like having a car? It's like freedom, LFQ. You said the same thing about buying a Miata? What did you mean, Burnout, when you said go to Taco Bell and not get state refed? I don't understand what that means. Trying to build my KTM into Supermoto for the kart course. Fuck yeah, dude. Taco Bell's the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars. He's Demolition Man posting. I love playing the race sim at Micro Center and Flight Sim. Dude, Pineapple, you can get into racing sim pretty cheaply if you get the like Logitech wheel. I don't know exactly what model this is that Illuminous gave me, but it's fucking good, dude. Really good. I like it a lot. Yeah, exactly what Burnout said. Omni, the M4 comp is like the final boss of BMWs for sports cars. You can get a more powerful, more luxurious, more expensive one like the M5 competition, However, the M5 is more of a luxury car than a sports car. The M4 Comp is a fucking sports car. It's like borderline race car. Adder will correct me. I know it's not the same as a race car, but it's a very fucking serious car for like a road car. Nice facilities like that are crazy expensive. Code is the same near me, 1,500 to 3K for a single day with 3 20-minute sessions. Thermal's driving experience packages do come with an instructor, which is great. Yeah, that's what you want. Absolutely. I did one track experience for my bachelor party, and I've raced before that. I did some solo 2 events. I've been to many different racetracks to like ride along or drive myself before I did this thing. But you know, bachelor party was like F430 race car with an instructor, and I want to say it was like 5 laps. They might have given me 7 laps because the dude on the track in front of me was really slow. But yeah, it was a full race car, like, you know, composite or not composite, plastic windows, I guess is the best way to say it. It's like Lexan or Plexi, something like that. No interior, you know, actual Ferrari. It was very, very cool, very fun. Full racing slicks. It was crazy. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Go out with an instructor and have them give me pointers. I love that, like, we're all giving Omni advice and he's ignoring every single one of us. And he's like, I'm gonna go do this thing instead and spend like a couple grand on this thing that you guys are all telling me like maybe not be worth my time as my very first experience. But hey, I'm gonna do it anyway. Classic Omni. If you ever have track car questions, especially BMWs, let me know. My side gig is building, setting up, and driving BMW track cars. Yep. So Adder, I'll just say that I don't think he wants to do a track car with like it's his daily. It's a car that he's like super into. You know, G82 is a sick fucking car. So I think he's like discovering, you know, motorsports and went like full ham. You'll pick up a ton of confidence and skill in just the one day, and then moving forward can pick and choose when you want to drive solo or with an instructor. It's a super fun hobby. Congrats on the M4. Yeah, Adder's being really nice about it. Illuminous, for you, Pineapple said the wheel was $200, but that was before the Ram Wars. Yeah, that's a good point. Those wheels might be a lot more expensive. Burnout says in California, there's a state referee that cops will send you to if your car is illegally modified. Dude, that sucks. They'll take that shit off and you have to pay. Bro, that's so garbage. California has the most restrictive laws around cars and modifications. M4 Comp is a pretty serious car, regardless if it's a race car or not. It's as close to a race car as you want on the street, to be honest. Exactly. Driving my actual race car on the street is not an enjoyable experience for long periods. Yep. That's exactly what I've been saying. Have to wear ear pro, full-blown harness. Yeah, 5 point. Do you have 5 points? I can't remember. I know that it's like full racing harness, you know, attached to the frame in the cage. Yeah, here's the other thing. The inside of the cab in a race car is 150 plus degrees, no matter the weather. It rattles the teeth out of your head. The suspension's so stiff that any bump, like, you feel in your spine, you know? So turning cog, the pampered BMW experience is the reason why you buy a car like that. Because without having a completely different car, you press a button and then it changes the entire behavior. That's the reason why they're expensive. It's very cool. Now, I'd be pushing him in the direction of keeping as stock as possible. Yeah, exactly, Eder. Good. Nobody wants race car problems. 6-point harness, full containment halo seats. Yep. Dude, those seats are really nice, Eder. The only essential mod for Omni's car is a pair of Gucci hater blockers. Yes, absolutely. I was telling him to get wheels. My wheel was $200. Yeah, you're good then, Pineapple. All suspension is Heim joints as well, so you feel every little grain of sand on the street. Yeah, and you want that in a race car. You don't want that in a daily driver. And I love how we're having this conversation. Omni ain't even here to talk about it anymore. That's exactly the point I was making. We're all like, hey, man, we have experience. Let us give you advice. And then he's just like, I chose to ignore all of you, and I'm going to do whatever the fuck I feel like anyway, and then get myself into trouble. That's what he does. B54, I can't remember, dude. I think it's the same thing in the Supra, though, right? I'm here and hurt everyone. Whatever you say, Omni, I don't believe you. I've known you for years, bro. Yeah, I do wheels, brake pads, high quality 200 treadwear tires, and go drive. Exactly. Yes. And I think the BMW is better on brakes than the RS5. Vince has a really warped view of me. Damn, bro. All I do is try to help you from, stop you from hurting yourself. M4 is F50, S58. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I know they're both inline sixes for BMW with a turbo. B58, S58, best engine ever made. Hell yeah. Let me allow that. Any of these engines can be tuned to tit fuck. Yes, exactly. Like even my Audi, just a simple remap of the ECU gives me like 50, 60 horsepower, which is crazy. Like it's just absurd. And I mean, I would wager that the M4 comp, you probably can't do a whole lot to get a bunch more horsepower out of a tune because it's already tuned to 500 plus horsepower. Whereas like the base M4 is like 50 horsepower or less. Yeah. So modifications to get that block up to 1500, 1700 wheel horsepower that's very extensive engine mods. Yeah, of course they can take 1,000, but to get to 1,000, you have to replace the fuel system, the ignition system. You need custom ECU mapping. Exhaust is probably not really going to get you any gains. I mean, it's the same thing with the RS5. It's like 2.5 or 3 inch all the way through. Dual header stuff, dual cats, all that, and you gain no horsepower out of strictly doing exhaust. None of the main internals, which is great. Yeah, that's the sign of a good motor, right? You don't have to replace the internals, and you can go like way up on the horsepower. I know that the biggest issue with the RS5 is like if you get up to 600, you got to start like changing some shit in the diffs because of the all-wheel drive system. It doesn't really want to go past 600. You start breaking shit, spinning gears. B58s make 430 wheel from factory with factory tune. S58s are closer to 500 with more RPM headroom. Flash tune and downpipes both will do 750. Anything more than that, you need a turbo, fancy fuel, and more fuel system. Yeah. I don't think I can pull that off. He's finding a wall to drive into right now. Yeah, exactly. A pair of Gucci hater blockers. Why can't you get those, man? That's a good essential mod. Yeah, you can pull that look off, man. You just got to wear them. Really on brand of you guys to make a rainbow character during Pride Month. Thank you, Brightside. It's that's not what he's doing, but yeah, thank you. Brightside's like, man, fuck all this car conversation. See this exactly, guys. I rest my case. Omni says I definitely might get some BMW Polos though. That's exactly what I'm saying. Man's in it for the brand experience, not the pure motorsport. I want you to be into the pure motorsport because it's so much more interesting. What's a PAB, bro? Punk ass bitch? Is that what you're going for? When I'm driving the M4 versus an actual enthusiast? I mean, buying BMW Polos and driving around in your M4 is looking like a punk ass bitch, for real. Yeah, don't buy the merch, man. Adder, dude, that's so funny. I wear my Euro dad cologne whenever I wear my BMW Polo. Yeah, dude. So there's like a way to meme about it, Omni. Like when you show up to the track event with your BMW Polo and like, your Puma racing boots that you only ever use at the track, like in your full interior stock vehicle, and then you put down lap times that absolutely murder everyone else's. That's how you do that. That's a huge flex because everyone's going to look at you like you're a goon, or I guess goon's the wrong word, like you're a clown, right? They'll be like, man, who the fuck is this guy? Look at him out here. He's not taking this seriously. So you can do all of that when you're actually fast, and then it's even funnier. You can smell the BMW before I walk in the room. Hell yeah, Adder. Illuminous, you do drive a BMW. Yours just has a Toyota badge on it. Man, I ain't wearing that shit to the track. I mean, don't wear it out either. Like, if you're wearing a BMW Polo, you need to be in like a Toyota RAV4. Burnout, I've sent you pics of his car. I haven't sent. What's the other one? Fuck, dude, I can't remember the chassis code of the other one. Your girl's car. E36, E38, something like that. Man, it's just not coming to me today. Time for me to head out today. Have a good one, and thanks for the long stream. You're welcome, LFQ. Thank you so much for the huge amount of gifters, man. Thank you. E36. All right, sweet. I wear that potent. Bro, I can't say all that. You're crazy for typing that. I mean, you can type whatever you want. I just can't read it. Dude, that's fucking funny, Burnout. Yeah, take it easy, Pineapple. Yeah, Il has a Supra. He's a A90. Some very nice wheels. I've sent you pictures of his car with the wheels, bro. Oh, Anna's still here. Fuck yeah. What are the custom Toomey bags, dude? I don't know what this is. Oh, this is like high-end luggage. Okay, all right. I'm tracking now. They have McLaren bags? Dude, that's crazy. Tony's got an F-150 Power Boost. Nah, dude, F-150 Power Boost. Fucking sick-ass truck. Yeah. Oh, damn. I'm sorry, Anna. I'm sorry. We get off on cars lately, like as a topic of conversation, because there's a lot of people in chat who like enjoy talking about cars. But yeah, I know you're not a car person. Yeah, Tony drive truck and does yard work with it. Very true. Yeah, it's an awesome truck. Notation exercises. Okay, good. I mean, you give us some gifted too. So, I'll look at the game that you were talking about, Glagstone. All right, let's check this out. Story-driven city building game. We got some squids and some sea serpents here. I'm gonna watch this little trailer. They say 1-bit, and what they mean by that is it's monochrome black and white, so it's shades of gray. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Is it out yet, Anna? No, Q4 2026. Okay, cool. I'll have to watch like a little bit of like streamer playing it so that I can see whether or not it's gonna be a game for me. This could be a Sparkle Loser game because she really likes city builders. I'm gonna buy an '88 Ford Ranger next week and drive it back from Idaho. Dude, that's the fucking good buy, Burnout. It's a great truck. Very different take on city builders. Yeah, that's why I'll have to like see a lot of gameplay. 85 Ford Raptor build on YouTube. Dude, that's a weird sentence. Omni, the thing that blows my mind is that I give you advice on how to do something and you go, that's not right. And then immediately try to do the opposite and then come back to me and be like, yeah, so I tried to do the thing that you told me not to do and it didn't work out. And I'm like, why would you doubt me at this point? You know, I'm just trying to give you advice so that you don't make mistakes other people have already made. That's it. I don't know why you come at me with so much derision, bro. Just looking out for your own best interests. That's what the man is attempting with blood, sweat, and cash. I mean, you can build anything, bro. Like, should I watch something on Adder? You might have heard about this, the 914 Resto mod. I don't know if you've seen those made by, it's like MSM or something like that. 914. Yeah, 6-speed manual, like GT4 motor. That's all tuned and shit. It looks pretty sick. I'm not a big 914 fan. Omni, let's go rip a canyon without Vince. Vince is invited but won't go. No, I'll definitely go. I just don't want to get gravel thrown at the front end of my car, you know? I do also need to get some new tires, ill. That's kind of the thing that's been like stopping me. But dude, my suspension's good. I mean, I took you for a rip like right after it was done, and the car's handling is insane now. So like that whole situation is fixed. I mean, I showed you the fucking soft line damage that the dealership caused, so it is what it is. My aunt in Colorado's gotten to the track bug, now racing like every week. Fuck yeah, dude. I remember you telling me that your aunt was into like touring bikes, and then she got a sport bike, maybe. I want to say it was something like a Honda Viffer or some shit like that. Yeah, dude, it's very dope. I mean, like, I love when people find motorsports and like find the joy in it, because it's like a different thing. Like, you don't really understand what it's like until you get bitten by the bug, and it usually takes a track day. So I mean, you know, in fairness, if Omni goes and does the BMW track experience, he might get bitten by the track bug, or he might be like, holy shit, I don't want to do this ever again, and then be like, I got too much car, you know. Dude, that's so good. She sent me a listing. It was like, don't tell your uncle, but what track bike should I get? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I've always, so, you know, Burnout, we've talked about bikes a bit, and I'm not very into them personally, because I recognize how dangerous bikes can be. If I were on private roads, I would be riding a lot more bikes. Like, if I had some land with like some dirt roads, I'd have a dirt bike, probably like 150cc, like for sure. And I'd just like rip that bitch around. And then, you know, if it was in Colorado, I'd definitely get a snowmobile too. Probably avoid quads. I think dirt bikes are just more useful. Quad might be good if I had like a bunch of land to manage, but I don't know. Dirt bikes seem better to get around on. 2019 R3 that has full Resto Mod vintage track body style and full track build. Dude, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's what I grew up doing. Barely ride on the street 1 to 2 times a month just on back roads. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad. You know, I don't want you getting fucking aced by some clown that's on their phone. That's always the risk when you're on like surface streets. But yeah, Omni, I'm glad that you have an M4. There's a lot of potential. I'm not trying to like suck your excitedness out of the situation. I want you to be safe and have fun. And that's where I'm coming from the whole time. Like, I'll say this. I was talking to him about the car the day he got it, and I was like, what are your thoughts on tires? And he's like, I don't want to think about tires ever. Like, and anybody in chat who knows about cars, to have someone with a sports car say, I don't want to think about tires ever, is like crazy. It's the most important part of your car, especially if you want to drive fast. yeah, I got you, Burnout. 100%. Omni, you know I love you, but you just don't believe it. I'm just honest with you. I'm not gonna like, you know, make you feel good about some crazy shit. Yeah, see, Adder's got 60 tires in his garage. Like, it's literally the most important part of your car. So, like, unfortunately, you have to care about tires. Yeah, I want you to be a car dude. Yeah, dude, of course. I want you to be a car dude. I want to help you enjoy the full breadth of car culture and motorsport. That's what I'm saying. I would like to do the instructor on track and learn more. Yeah, absolutely. I really think you should do that. I strongly endorse that. The only thing is that the BMW program is overpriced, and it's more about the BMW experience, which they're going to try to sell you some hats and some shirts and coffee mugs and shit like that, which is like a fucking pain in the ass. Like, you don't want that. A pure track day, you're going to learn so much more from. And I think you have your head in the right place of being like, I don't want to do my first track day in my daily driver sports car. Like, I think that's smart. Don't do that. You definitely can, but I would suggest you do it in the Z4 instead of the M4 because the M4 is just so much more car. And what I mean is like the limit for, like say your skill level is like here, the limit for the Z4 is going to be here. And I mean, that's the machine. The limit for the M4 is like way the fuck up here. So you'll never really understand. And if you're diving straight into like pushing the limits of the M4, it's going to be very, very overwhelming. What are OHV tires, Burnout? He's Adder uses his to drift. He drifts the E30. I'd be paranoid that I fuck up one of my cars. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's a very real risk. Like, so that's why I was recommending to Solo 2 autocross because the course is cones. To your point, I don't want to manage my tires and have to change them before or after track. That is a fundamental part of it. You do one track day and you're going to like severely degrade your street tires. They're not meant for that. I mean, your summers are going to be better, but like, ask Adder, dude. A track day fucking annihilates your tires. Like, you could do 5 laps on, some nice summer tires, and you've taken like, 10, 20,000 miles out of it. Maybe not 20 because summers are soft, but you've taken like 10,000 miles of regular driving out of those tires just in one track day. None that are worth putting on anything. Most of them are heavily heat cycled used track tires. It gets expensive to dispose of quantity. Yeah, absolutely. Need some 275 65 18s for Lexus GX. Yeah, in Omni, like there are other track day events. I'm sure there's a fucking ton you could go to like get into a Miata. And like, I know that sounds stupid, but it's a really good idea. And the reason why is because it doesn't have enough power to really get you in trouble. Like, you can overdo it and you'll be pretty safe in the Miata, but you can still get yourself into trouble. And the chassis is set up in such a good way that you can be very, very, very fast in a Miata, even just a stock Miata without a ton of power. So that's the reason. It's like pure fundamentals. Ask Illuminous about the difference between going from a GR86 into a GR Supra. It was huge difference. And the GR86 is a fucking great sports car. It just doesn't have a ton of power. I think if I wanted a car, I'd probably find a used Supra since it's the closest to Z4 in some ways. I mean, I wouldn't. That's still too big. Like, that's too powerful of a car. You really have to be careful. And like the reason I'm saying this is like the limit in a car with more power is really high up there, and you will get yourself into a bad position. So the best example I can give is like EVs. So, someone without any driving experience, for instance, like my friend Carter, who has a Model 3 Performance, he doesn't really know what he's doing in that car. And that car is so powerful that he can get himself into a very bad position. And that's knowing when to brake. That's knowing how to corner. Like, those are the two most important things. So when you're in a Miata and you're learning to make slow car go fast, you'll have more fun because you can be at the limit and you won't like completely fuck yourself up. Like, you can be at the limit on that car and like really understand when, oversteer happens, when understeer happens, which understeer is going to scare you more than anything else. And learning how to deal with understeer is a big problem. And then, of course, trail braking is a whole other thing. And there's so much to learn. Yeah, as Adder said, you will need brand new tires after a single track day using street tires. You'll need new brake pads after 2 to 3 track days. That's not hyperbole. He's 100% accurate on that. E30 is $1,500 to $2,500 in consumables to run for a standard drift event before entry costs and truck trailer costs. Yeah, that's a serious track day. So Adder's doing like a full, competitive event track day when he's talking about that. Your track experience day isn't going to be like that. there's going to be a lot of conversation, a lot of instruction in like a classroom, walking the track physically. All these things are very, very important because racing is a dangerous motor. It's just a dangerous sport. Very dangerous. Yeah, but you won't care when you shunt the Miata into the wall versus Supra. Yeah, exactly. I had to drive my homie's GR86 last week from the beach since he was too drunk. I'm not good enough to drive cars with his fancy clutch and racing parts. I made it though. Yeah, dude. That's race car stuff, you know. Race cars are not fun to drive as a daily. I think it's easier to get used to higher power motorcycles and cars. It's probably just because I have more experience. No, I think you're right. I think it's your experience. First bike is 300, second 600. Bikes you get way faster the more you move up than cars. Yes, absolutely. Especially with like cost differential too. Because like the most expensive bike, you know, is like 20 grand. And when I say that, I mean like the most powerful like racing bike is like 20, 30 grand. Very powerful racing cars are in like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Unless you build it yourself, then you can make one for like 60K and still have a great time. But any mistakes, dude, and you're rebuilding all that shit, it's costing you tens of thousands of dollars again. So yeah, it's tough. I can buy a 10K bike that will smoke everything you see on the street, unless I want to go to Tamales where there's rich Marin guys bringing up their hypercars. Yeah, exactly. It's way harder to make a car super fast than it is to make a bike super fast. That's the whole power to weight thing. Omni, like, I understand that when you're saying the Supra and you want to get like a A90 because it's very close to the Z4, it is. They're very, very similar cars. There is a difference, but it's a subtle one. The A90 has like more, you know, better chassis dynamics and stuff. But you can get that in a Miata. You can spend like, you know, $5 grand on a car and learn to track that, and you'll be way better off. All right, take it easy, man. Have a good one. I
probably got to get it wrapped up myself here.
Yeah, no worries, Tony. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Your mic got all weird again, Tony.
I just unmuted so I could talk. I've been muted.
Sweet. Yeah, I guess we could wrap it up. We did a lot of car talk today. We had some video game talk, which is good. You know, to recap that, I was talking about Mina the Hollower and people using Steam concurrency numbers. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the gifted subs, and thank you for abiding the car talk. You know, feel free to jump in and ask other questions if you're like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This doesn't make any sense. You know, I like when Brightside was was talking to us about the Pride Month guy that Tony was working on. That was good. Yeah, you're welcome, Brightside. It was a lot of car talk, Anna. We've had some streams recently that have been very heavy on the car talk, and I know that can be like pretty boring for some of you out there. Feel free to interject in the middle of the conversation and be like, I don't care about this, and ask a different question. I will change the subject. I don't mind. Sweet. I think that's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow. More Dread stuff. Tony's working on a thing. You know, that's very cool. I'm sure he's going to keep working on it. But yeah, we gotta call it, go get some food, you know, do our thing, be human beings, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Tony, you got anything?
I'm just going to kill the music so it doesn't sound weird. No. Thanks for coming through, everybody. Thank you so much for the gifts, Anna, LFQ, all that. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, hell yeah, guys. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 to 4. Yep. All right, later, y'all. Have a good one.
Good one, everybody. Bye-bye.